Following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh my lord, we live in very exciting times in the nerd community. Everyone's so excited on the internet about Disney Plus dropping. Mandalorian. It's great. It's a great show, but listen, let's not lose sight. All you tens of millions of subscribers to Disney Plus, let's not forget Eddie Murphy. My name is Dolomite on fucking Netflix. See that fucking movie. Listen, Mandalorian's going to be there. But and then you could do what your boy did. He went on the free Tubi app and then watched the true Dolomite film. So that's what I did. So that's what you should do. Tell him Monster Zero sent you. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites. Welcome to episode 381 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein and also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven's Chateau. We discuss at least one film a week. We argue, we make fun of each other, and I can't do any more of the intro. I got to go right to this Raven Chateau. There is no fucking way that you figured Tubi out on your own.
Tubi?
Yeah, who showed you?
Or not? I've had it for a while.
Or not to be.
Yeah, you had it for a while, but who showed you how to use it?
Yeah, you don't know. Come on.
It was a funny thing. I had people over the house, and we're talking about things. And as I was, holding court at the bar,
holding court as you typically do.
Right, we're telling some stories, having adventures. A friend of ours,
having adventures.
A friend of ours whose name rhymes with Music Quest Bob.
That's you can't rhyme Music Quest Bob with Music Quest Bob.
All right, so that was.
I don't know. They kind of sound alike to me.
All right, it's his actual name.
So they kind of rhyme, if you ask me.
So Music Quest Bob puts it on the TV, and he's like, "Hey, this is what you're talking about." I'm like, "Yeah," and that's how it happens. True story.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was watching Disco Godfather on Tubi today as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw them all on there. And I'm like, holy shit, look at this. All right, well, I'm gonna dive right in. I already got Human Tornado and Dolomite on Blu-ray, so I'm just gonna watch Petey Wheatstraw and watch Disco Godfather. And Disco Godfather is pretty fucking amazing. I champion his first two films, Dolomite and Human Tornado, because they are fantastic.
No, have you seen the Eddie Murphy joint?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking incredible, right?
Oh, it's amazing. It's so good.
And I gotta say, I know it hasn't come up yet, but I fucking loved it. Sorry, Johnny. And Eddie Murphy kills it. And the only person that maybe outshines Eddie Murphy is fucking Wesley Snipes.
Oh yeah, it's D'Urville Martin. Yeah. He got D'Urville Martin's syntax down.
Really,
his voice, especially when he starts yelling, he's got his voice down. He's got his like a speech pattern that he has. He's got that down. The pitch in his voice, he's got that down.
It was like Morris Day eyes.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. Keegan-Michael Key is great in it. The Wesley Snipes is in it. And he's great. Eddie Murphy is fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you just say the Wesley Snipes?
Yes, he's the Wesley Snipes.
I always refer to Wesley Snipes as the Wesley Snipes.
Yep. And as the
I never ever referred to him as Wesley Snipes. Just the Wesley Snipes.
Well, the first time you referred to him, you did just say Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I know. That was just to explain my point, though.
No.
Oh, you mean I missed it?
Yeah.
Oh,
the
shit.
first time.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh. Well, I meant to say the Wesley Snipes. The Wesley Snipes. Well, anyway, how's it going, Johnny?
Well, I also have to ask too, and Raven Shadow was kind of downplaying like Disney Plus and saying, "Oh, Mandalorian's going to be there, but you got to watch My Name Is Dolomite." That's going to be there too. That's a Netflix original, man. That's going to be on Netflix. It ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, but I really
Everyone's
enjoyed.
everyone's
Well, I
talking
mean,
about
if
the
my name is
Mandalorian.
Dolomite, it's going to be on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Everyone's talking about the Mandalorian. Don't deny people that opportunity to talk about it. If they want to talk about it.
What's up?
Oh, I got to get into this. Yeah.
Fucking A.
Raven
Let's go to
Chat, did
commercial.
you
Oh, wait. Can I guess?
Oh, shit.
Raven Chat, did you see the whole thing?
You
Listen,
fell asleep, didn't you?
Listen. Listen.
Ah,
I saw that post too, by the way. In the fib.
Oh, see,
And then
No,
you
no,
call
it actually-
call you out.
It wasn't
I
on the
don't-
fib. It was on
Oh, where was
another. It was on another podcast group, but she tagged me in it. Oh no, Corny did. Corny tagged me.
Oh, I saw it too. We haven't talked about that, baby, by the way. And listen, not for nothing. But yeah, that was mentioned. What? Why don't you go ahead, John? You're fucking loving this. Go ahead.
Okay, so
go ahead.
it's a 40-minute episode, right? Like that's not
Yeah.
very long. That's
Well-
far less than the movies that we do.
Johnny, you'll find the length that we cling to is often dependent on one's point of view.
So apparently, Marion outed Raven Shadow and said
Yes.
that at the end, the episode ends. We're not going to give spoilers. So the episode ends, and it was kind of a big thing that happened, and she looked over, no reaction from Raven Shadow whatsoever because he was asleep.
Listen, all right, allow me to retort.
but you made it through Dolomite? No, how many times? Like 3 or 4 times took you to get through it?
Like Johnny said, it's on Netflix forever. It'll always be there, okay? No. Listen, Johnny, and for Aries, go fuck yourself, Monster Zero. I'm sorry. I'm swinging for the fences right now. No, I'm just kidding. I've been working a lot. Okay, everyone works hard. Working a lot.
We all work.
We all work. We're all
Yep.
tired.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm on the couch.
Raven Shadow,
come-
I spend 2 hours at the gym almost every day after work.
Oh,
for
shit, I'm
Christ's
fucking tired just hearing it. I'm getting a heart pain in my heart. It hurts me a lot. Yeah, fine. Well, yeah, we can't all be fucking perfect fucking Viking warriors.
I
Okay?
work out all day.
No.
Oh.
Plus,
Oh, I am an A-lister. I took advantage of it twice in the last week.
I'm an A+ member.
No, A-list.
Tell you what, Wolfie. I'll take you into the bathroom and show you a real A+ member.
Wow. Folks, don't clean and jerk. So
A
okay.
plus. Where do you get that?
Yeah, I think now you've changed the focus.
Yeah, you're taking the
You're
heat
like
off of
the
Raven Shadow.
Focus thief. Yeah,
Did Raven Shadow slip you a fin or something like that?
yeah. Oh. Just don't let Monster Zero slip it to you.
All right, so you fell asleep.
Yeah. So yeah. You know what I mean? It was a surprise. It's funny how certain things came into place for your boy to have the access to the Disney Plus. You know what I mean?
You're piggybacking off someone else.
Listen, powers combined, Johnny. It's tell the team.
Why are you staring at me?
Yeah, and you called him Johnny.
Yeah, what the hell?
Because I don't know.
I'm only assuming you're staring at me because you got those fucking glasses on.
He could be looking at me for all I know.
Well,
He could be sleeping.
Maybe he is.
There's a lot of beards.
I figured that's why you wear those glasses. So when
What?
you're not off on the show, no one knows it.
I know. I need those for my fucking meetings that I have during the daytime. So I'm really comfortable under the couch, right? I just had a fucking Stromboli. Okay, I had.
What is a
Stromboli?
Stromboli? Explain.
Kind of like a fucking calzone, but like more like
What more Greek?
dick-like, I guess. It's more of like
dick-like. It was an A plus
let's
member.
Is it again like an A plus member? No, I mean essentially it's a calzone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. It's more.
I
like,
know what a Stromboli
Yeah,
is.
it's like take dough, but wrap it in cheese and a pepperoni and topping.
It's
and
actually
cheese.
pretty good.
So you slice it, kind of like a fucking marble rye, right? Or
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Or a Suzy Q from the Hostess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's got that swirl in the middle.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he's saying. He's
Thank
just
you.
saying it wrong. And take that from somebody who constantly says things wrong all the time.
Yeah. So I'm tired, I had that. And then maybe, things are a lot legal in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts now. So I'm relaxing. And we put the Mandalorian on, and I was comfy next to a beautiful lady on the couch. Had my dog.
Well, she made it through the whole episode.
Did she have Stromboli?
Yeah.
And she partaked in your little treat?
Listen, I have fast metabolism, okay? My entire biological makeup is yellow sun, so if I process things faster.
You know what?
So I get a little more.
I am so sick of your goddamn excuses for everything.
It's not an excuse. It's a reason.
I am tired of your goddamn excuses for everything.
Everything you did, she did. She had the Stromboli.
Yeah.
She partaked in your little treat. She was on the couch with a beautiful lady. She had all.
Yeah, what was it? A roofie Stromboli?
But here's the thing. There's a thing called rewind, okay? So I rewound it back to the pot, and I saw it. You know what I mean? What? So I had a fucking 10-minute delay. What are you gonna do?
Jesus.
If that was at fucking Logan Airport, you'd be fucking doing jumping jacks.
What did you without giving anything away? What did you think of the end?
I liked it.
Okay.
But I do have some questions, and I have some statements.
Ooh.
So maybe now is not the place to voice them. But what if, Johnny? What if there was a vessel where I could talk to people weekly about not only The Mandalorian, but all things that cover Star Wars and all the various, incestuous tales that they weave.
You cannot get past that, man. You
No,
cannot get past that.
And that's true. That's why I actually true. The true story I got Disney Plus was so I could do my own Star Wars podcast. It's true. It's going to be called Incest Rebellion Style.
It's going to be you talking to you, Sarah.
That's a shitty name.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm working on it.
Does the Empire not believe in incest? Is just the rebels?
I think it is a rebel thing. It's weird because everyone kind of hit it.
Just a rebel thing.
I think it is. I think we were wrong. No. I'm following you. But no, I might leave a message on your program, Johnny.
Oh, well, if someone were to, if they were interested in hearing four jabronis talk about Star Wars, they could listen to the Force Insensitive podcast featuring myself, Rocky, Alberto, and someone named Dynamo, who I don't want to spoil it too much for people that haven't listened to it yet. But we lose Dynamo about halfway through the show, and he just is gone. He also fell asleep.
Did he really?
See?
Wow.
You guys have more common than you ever thought. He
This
fucking
is a 4-star series so
he
far,
fucking
man.
fell asleep while podcasting.
Fall asleep
Not
watching
no,
it.
no, not watching it while podcasting.
No. I hear you, but I'm just saying, just talking about it puts people to sleep. Watching it puts people to sleep.
It's a lot better than they make it sound.
Really? Because right now I'm not sold.
It's really good.
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, your episode or the program?
No, the show.
Both?
The show.
No, it's good. I just watched it a second time tonight.
Yeah, I've seen it twice too. So,
Damn it.
It's good. Actually, you know what? This isn't a spoiler, but if you do get it, I watched it upstairs with the subtitles on, and
the subtitles on.
No, listen, it might have been left on from I don't know how the subtitles work, but they were on.
Okay.
But what's cool about that was when they speak the alien languages, they describe what the alien language is.
Okay.
So, like in the first time we see the main character, do you know what they're speaking?
What main character? The Mandalorian?
The Mandalorian. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. There was some Quarren there. There was what else do we see? I can't remember the other. There's what?
They were speaking Huttonese.
Huttonese?
Huttonese.
Okay.
H-U-T. I don't know how to fucking spell. They were speaking the Hut language. They were speaking the language of the Huts.
The language of love.
The language of love. Oh, I thought that was exciting. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you have broken the case. You cracked the case, Raven Shadow.
I figured it out. You fucking Rocky ain't talking about that.
No, because none of us watch subtitles.
I'm fucking telling you something. Bring that to your podcast. Tell them you thought of it.
No, I'm not going to take
I was
credit.
wondering, you know what? When we came over tonight, I was wondering why you had the subtitles on while watching, what was it, Batman?
Because he doesn't know how to turn them off.
Ah.
No, I was watching the
X-Men.
yeah, remarkably holding up very well.
Oh,
X-Men
okay.
animated series.
X-Men, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My God.
Batman is not Disney, MZ.
I don't know.
He does it on purpose, Johnny.
I don't know. Yeah, you
I
talk.
don't know.
You talk about
don't
not
know
watching
what-
WWE, yet you know everything that happens in it.
I know nothing about what goes on in WWE except what I read on the internet.
On the
And I
dirt
always
sheets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, look, WWE blows anyway. I was watching AEW yesterday, and
Yeah.
it's still, it's
great.
really decent, good. Who's that little dude?
Which
Marco?
Hornswoggle?
Marco Stunt.
What the hell is that?
He's 5 foot.
You know, I mean
he's
to bring this
5'3".
Is he 5'3"? Ah!
Yeah, he's
Like
a
Pablo
weirdo.
Picasso.
Is he really only 5'3"?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Girls
oh my
couldn't help
God.
with this is there.
Do you like the way he dances?
He's got some sweet moves. Yeah.
Speaking of AEW, Raven Shadow.
Oh, yes, how was the show?
It took
Oh
him-
yeah.
took Raven Shadow about 5 days to respond to a picture I texted him.
I know. I didn't see it.
He didn't know how to respond.
No, I do know how to respond, but I didn't see it. And
That's
I would have.
I sent a picture of me and Anthony palling around at AEW, full
I
gear.
know.
It was nice. I went and met up with Anthony, and then he wanted to go to a vegan restaurant. He's like, no, I want to go to a vegan restaurant with you. So we went to a vegan restaurant, and we had some good stuff, some good food. Then we went to the show, and it was a good time. We saw some pretty insane matches. I don't know if they showed any of the clips or highlights from it, but definitely by far the standout was John Moxley versus Kenny Omega.
Oh, I
And-
heard about that. Yeah. Oh, you were there. You were at that one. Holy shit.
Yeah, and
Oh,
it was like
That one.
it was like a 40-minute almost death match at times. It was fucking
It was-
insane.
Wasn't there some Suspiria inspired razor wire falling into shit like that?
Yeah, it was like a it looked like a what the fuck are those things? Like a trampoline, those like trampolines that you see in like the backyard people have. It was like
Yeah.
it was like a square one, and it was just completely covered in barbed wire. And Moxley suplexed Omega into it. They both went in.
Now I heard like fans were like conflicted. They were half, audience was like loving it, and half were like, "This is fucking too much." Like almost like it was almost,
Well-
putting some off.
Some people did leave, but the show was also running late, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I did see some people get up and leave, but it could just be I don't know what the public transit in Baltimore is like, but if it's anywhere like in Boston at a certain time, you just got to go because the last train runs.
Right.
So it's possible that people had to catch a train or something like that. I don't know, but I was like amazed that I saw anyone leave, but. And it was only like a handful of people. It was like two people in my row and like maybe like two people in the row in front of us and then a couple other people. And that was
Oh,
it.
so-
So
Wasn't sold out or anything like that.
no, it was sold out, I think. But I'm saying people were leaving during the
Oh,
last
okay.
match. Yeah. So I have a feeling that it was for transportation stuff because I don't know why you'd leave that match. It was really engaging, and it didn't really get super super crazy until the end. So I don't think the people left because it wasn't gruesome because I hate to pull the veil back a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I'm sure I don't think it was the real deal. They used glass, and I'm pretty sure it was not the real deal. I think it was like that sugar glass, because their backs were definitely cut up a little bit, but not like if that was actually real glass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw what who was it? Omega. What Omega looked like
Oh, yeah.
after that
Well,
carnage, and his back was shredded.
Well, he also, and he had a black eye. I think that was legit because I don't want to spoil too much, but things got really crazy in the ring, and they were starting to tear apart the ring, and he did a Phoenix splash onto just the planks on the ring. So they basically stripped the mat off, stripped the padding off, and he landed face first on the planks.
Damn.
So I think that was that might have been legit, but I don't, like I said, it didn't take it away from the match. It was an amazing match, but I don't think it was quite what like CZW or GCW or any of the like Big Japan or any of these other deathmatch things do. I think it was gigged a little bit, if you will. So, but I'm totally fine with it. I have no problem with it. I don't, like these guys are putting their bodies on the line as it is. You don't have to like deal with getting fucking tetanus and all this other stupid shit. So, so no, it was good though. It was a good show, and Jericho and Cody was good, and there was a lot of other pretty good matches on the card. So yeah, we had a great time, and it was good hanging out with Anthony and just spending some time with him, and then after just went home. It's like a short 25-minute drive to Baltimore for me, so it was nice.
That's it.
So
Nice.
yeah, I recommend people check that match out though. So I think you guys can watch it. I can give you the info on how to watch it, but you guys can watch it. And
All
right. but yeah, people should check it out. It was a good show.
Cool.
Now going back before to Dolomite. Now you said, all right, you saw My Name Is Dolomite. Did you see the movie Dolomite?
Yeah.
All right, was that the first time you ever saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
That was fucking great.
Isn't it though?
I did. I thought it was funny seeing. I mean, I've seen the clips and stuff. I know of it. I just never watched it from beginning to end.
Yeah. Well, because you fall asleep every now.
Well, listen. I was very excited that night. I watched 2 movies back to back.
So you dug it.
I dug it a lot. Yeah. It was great.
It's
It was
amazing.
so great seeing. I guess I went to the actual like locations of the original film to when they made My Name Is Dolomite.
Yeah.
And just seeing like the scene with the trunk.
Oh yeah. With the
FBI's there.
What you want?
Yeah.
That scene in My Name
so
Is
good.
Dolomite is so good because it's like Eddie Murphy like timed that, that pregnant pause where he goes, "What you want?" That second, and it's timed exactly to the point where Dolomite says it in the movie. He says it takes him like 2 seconds for him to say it again, and it's that pregnant pause that just I saw it, and it's like he sold it so well there, and the fight scenes in that movie is ridiculous. There's one of the FBI guys who looks like Will Ferrell.
Yeah. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Matter of fact, the other guy next to the guy who looked like Will Ferrell, that other FBI guy with the dark hair, he is in also Black Dynamite.
Okay.
He has a small part in Black Dynamite, and let's see. Well, my friend Mark Murray, who was a collaborator on the movie, My Name Is Dolomite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's been trying to get a book going for the longest time, and he laid down some news on me about 2 weeks ago about a very special interview that he's getting, and he is unbelievably psyched for this. I think it's happening sometime in December next month that this interview is happening.
Oh, cool.
I can't say what it is though.
You tell us off air.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Go to commercial time.
But yeah, the fight scenes are great. Let's see what else.
There's literally a handful of times where like we had to rewind it because I was fucking laughing so hard. The line, like basically the fuck back home, fucking lost it. I just fucking love it.
Well, it looks like my bitches is on time.
So is Eddie Murphy back, or is this just like?
Well,
First of all, Eddie Murphy never fucking left.
Yeah, he
Eddie
did.
Murphy
No, he did.
He left.
No, he
left.
chose to not. He chose not to do anything. He didn't have to.
No. He's been gone for a long.
Pluto fucking Nash. Okay.
He made a series of bad movies and then
Life,
quietly stepped
Norbit.
away.
But he didn't listen. All right.
He fucking went away. I don't care
Yeah.
what you say.
Well, great communication skills, Johnny.
After Raw disappeared, and this is his resurgence. And Netflix is going to go ahead with Beverly Hills Cop 4. They're doing Coming to America 2. Everyone's been signed on for that.
And he's got a series of comedy special stand-ups.
Yeah. And this looks like the resurgence of Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Or Eddie Murray. He's coming back too.
Yeah. He's gonna be playing for the Dodgers again. You watch.
But no, I mean, it's the whole fucking thing we talk about. But yeah, no, I think he had some little misses, but fine. But I think I would love to see him do shit like on like an FX or HBO type show. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
Vampire in Brooklyn, man. Come on.
Yeah, well, fine. You know what I mean?
It's a Wes Craven joint, and I love Craven, but that was a big miss.
Dude's got more hits than fucking misses. Not for nothing. You know, all right, Cop 3 sucked.
Really? You're going to stand on more hits than misses?
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Johnny, I'm looking at you now.
What?
No, he's had more
He's had
misses.
way more misses.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The 80s were his
Okay,
time.
you know what?
The 80s were his time from after Raw till up until My Name is Dolomite. The biggest thing that he had going for him was the Clumsy Professor or whatever it's called.
Nutty Professor.
Nutty Professor,
That's a whole different motherfucker.
Yeah.
But no, I think for me, Eddie Murphy kind of started dropping
And even
off.
those suck.
No, what? Beverly Cop 1, 2, 3, 48 hours.
Okay.
Even
1
two.
and 2. We're good. 3 was a bomb.
What'd I say?
You said 1, 2, and 3.
Beverly Cop?
Yeah.
No, 1 and 2. No, I said 1 and 2.
You said 3.
You said 3.
Well, 3 sucked. That's
Yeah.
bad. No.
Yeah.
Cop 1 and 2, 48 hours, another 48 hours. I'll stand by. Fucking the Raw Delirious specials.
But I don't think we're disputing his 80s output.
Golden Child. But no, but you think he had more true misses?
Golden Child.
Yes.
Golden Child might have been his worst film during the 80s.
I fucking loved it.
It's still a good film.
Box office one.
I liked it too, and I would probably say
Harlem
that
Nights.
that's my least favorite.
Harlem Nights. I love Harlem Nights. I love Harlem Nights.
I think Boomerang is when he started that downward trend.
Agreed. That's when he got a little weird and
and
the feet thing started happening.
And hold on real quick. So in the 80s, and I guess if you consider another 48 hours, that was 1990. Let's conclude that. So he did another 48 hours, Harlem Nights, Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Golden Child, Beverly Hills Cop 1, Best Defense, and
Barely.
Trading Places, and 48 Hours. So he did, I think I got 9, if I count it correctly. So 9 decent movies in a row, like good to decent, like, you know, higher echelon for comedy. And then you look at that, and then he did The Distinguished Gentleman, he did Boomerang, he did Beverly Hills Cop 3, he did Vampire in Brooklyn, The Nutty Professor, Metro, Dr. Dolittle, Holy Man Life, Bowfinger, Nutty Professor 2, Shrek, Dr. Dolittle 2, Shrek in the Swamp. Oh, wait, never mind. That was a video short.
Shrek in the
Showtime, Pluto Nash, I Spy, Daddy Daycare, Haunted Mansion, Shrek 2, Father of the Pride, Norbit, Shrek the Third, Meet Dave, Imagine That, Shrek Forever After. Like, any of these you love, Raven Shadow? I'm just waiting.
I mean,
listen. No. You
Like-
can't count. Nutty Professor made a lot of money. It's not for me, but that's fine.
Yeah, but that was that was on the downward spiral. It's not.
That brought him.
It's not really funny. The only thing funny like
Go ahead.
that endures
I mean-
for me is Hercules.
Yeah.
I mean, the Shrek movies made a shit ton of money.
I saw the
yeah.
first one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, but those are kids' movies. You know,
Those
I mean,
those are family movies.
All right, better suggestion.
It's not.
Family-
It doesn't utilize his strengths.
right.
Okay, that was
right.
a lot of. That was a
He
lot
was
of
very-
misses.
he was
That a lot
very-
of misses.
He was very sanitized after Raw. After Raw, and I guess he chose to be that way because, you know, he was a family man at that point too. He wanted to raise his kids right and things like that.
Sure.
So, you know, you can admire that, but to be gone for this long and then finally come back with My Name is Dolomite and really knock it out of the park. You know, I mean, he's acting like he gives a shit again.
Yeah.
This is the Eddie Murphy that we all grew up watching, you know,
Right.
and listening to. And It's been so long since I have heard Eddie Murphy say motherfucker. And when I watched that movie, he said motherfucker like 4 times in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt so good.
Maybe because his kids are all grown up now.
Yeah, right.
Well, that has to be it. You know, but it's like that felt so good to hear him say motherfucker, you know, and say it like 4 times in 20 seconds. I was like thrilled. I'm like, this guy's back.
Motherfucker's back.
He's back.
This motherfucker right here.
We've been waiting so long for him to. Oh my God.
It was great. It was great, and you know, even watching the Seinfeld with the you know, comedians and cars he was on, that was fucking awesome. I fucking love the dude.
Oh God.
So, but now I think he is trying to make a comeback in a big way, because he obviously did Dolomite Is My Name. He did, and then now in post-production is Coming to America 2. Coming to the number 2 America.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is in pre-production on a film called Triplets. Do you guys know about that?
Was played 3 different birds. Oh yeah, it's the sequel to Twins, right?
Yes.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, it's fucking right. Am I right, Johnny?
You are right.
I
Yeah.
missed out on the.
It's in pre-production. Ivan Reitman's directing it. This is Julius and Vincent Benedict discover they have a third sibling, and it stars Schwarzenegger and DeVito and Eddie Murphy.
Oh, give me a fucking break. Are you serious?
It could be fucking awesome.
It could be.
I'm a little worried about that because
Oh my
Schwarzenegger
God.
was supposed to be the best part of the twins,
That's true.
and so you know they were really playing up that Danny DeVito was like the shit of them.
Yeah.
Well-
So now there's a third one. How are they going to play that?
Well, obviously he's got to be adopted.
I don't know. Like, okay.
Wait,
I mean, because I'm
But
just
then how does
wait.
triplets play into
Yeah,
that? How does the title play into that?
How does a twin be adopted?
Well,
I mean,
obviously,
even if it was triplets, and he was like a legitimate third
Yeah.
son, it still doesn't add up because Schwarzenegger and DeVito were in their early 70s, and Murphy is in his late 50s.
I think, is he late 50s or 60s?
Late 50s, early 60s. He's somewhere around there.
But wasn't
I think he's late
Schwarzenegger
50s.
wasn't Schwarzenegger also in the fucking movie?
he was born
He
in
got pregnant?
he was born in 61.
Really?
Murphy?
Yep.
So he's 58.
He's 58. Yeah. Or
Yes, you're
yeah,
junior.
58. Yeah. He turned 58 in April.
Looks fucking good.
He does.
Yeah, he looks great.
Black
Yeah.
don't crack.
Thank you, Aries.
You know, and also he's going to be doing Saturday Night Live next month. And from what I heard, he's going to be bringing back a lot of his old skits. He's going to bring back Gumby, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Yes.
So
Well, he did an interview where he stated he wanted to. It's not. None of those are guaranteed.
That isn't happening
because
okay.
things have to work out and things have to be written.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
What was the classic bit on
Buckwheat.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
The classic bit that got David Spade fucking in trouble, where he did that bit on Weekend Update where it was like a star was falling. He's like, oh no, it was a picture of Eddie Murphy. He's like, oh look, kids, a falling star. Make a wish. And
Oh.
fucking stuck in Eddie Murphy's craw, where it's a great. You know, he had that story that Spade tells, where basically Eddie Murphy was gunning for him, basically looking for him.
Really?
Yeah, and you got a lot of flack for that joke. But it was around that era, like that fucking
Where he was falling.
a little bit.
Did you ever hear about the I guess it's a rumor or a legend about a joke about Eddie Murphy that apparently I guess this woman was
The
in a
feet
hotel
The feet thing?
No. This woman was entering into an elevator in a hotel lobby, and just as the doors were beginning to close, a bunch of big dudes started walking into the elevator. Look, real dangerous looking dudes too. And next thing you know, somebody says, "Hit 4," and next thing you know, the woman just drops to the floor. And I guess one of the guys hits 4. They go up to the 4th floor. They all exit, and I guess at the next day. And now I can't confirm if this is true or not, but from what I understand, the next day, a big bouquet of roses came to this woman's hotel room.
Okay.
With a note on it, and it had a card in it, and it says, "Thank you for the best laugh I've had in years, Eddie Murphy," because she's surrounded by all these big guys, and he says, "Hit 4." She thinks he heard him say, "Hit the floor," so she hits the floor.
Oh, Jesus. I have not heard that story
No,
before.
that's a story that's a story that's circulated for a long time, long time. So there.
Almost as long as that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and just to put a cap on this, and then he also announced his Beverly Hills Cop 4. Just announced today, I think.
I saw that, yeah.
I could do without Beverly Hills Cop. The first one was good. The rest I could do.
Oh, come on. 2 was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it had Gilbert Gottfried in it, but
Yes.
that's about as far as it goes for me.
Yes. But there was talk, too, a while back of like doing a Beverly Hills Cop TV show, which would have been Axel Foley's like nephew. And I think it was supposed to be played by Michael B. Jordan around that time.
Oh, really?
And Axel was going to play like the cop, like the
Well, there is
captain.
Achmel.
Achwell. As Surge.
I mean, there is a listing for it.
It's good. What's that, Johnny?
There is a listing for it. It must have just been a pilot that never got picked up because it's only listed as a 42-minute TV movie. And it was directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. And let's see. I see Eddie Murphy as Detective Axel Foley, but I don't see Michael B. Jordan. I see someone named B.J. Britt. Looks like he's top billed.
I could be wrong. This was a couple years ago. I thought it was Michael B. Jordan. But I could be wrong.
B.J. Britt plays Triplet on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you know who I'm talking about there.
Yeah, I only watched the premiere. Pilot.
Yeah, I don't remember. He was in the first season for sure because I remember that character, but I don't know if he was in the premiere. But yeah, I mean, they probably did a pilot and that was it. So
yeah.
All right, enough Eddie Murphy. Very happy for his career resurrection, but
I am happy.
Herpes simplex T.
I wonder if he's going to bring back his
maintenance.
Wonder if he's going to bring back that character that goes undercover and as a white guy.
I have lots of friends with lots of makeup.
Here, pal.
That was a great skit.
He's like, "Hey, take it, pal." He's like, "When you're white, they give you things."
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love that scene where he's walking down the street for the first time. He's keeping his ass all tight and everything. He's walking really straight.
Fucking man, dude.
So I haven't mentioned what we're doing tonight. I forgot to do that in the intro. But we are going to be talking about a film called The Nightingale from director Jennifer Kent. We'll be discussing that, and I think we'll just kind of play it a little easy because we don't have a lot of voicemail right now. But if people want to, they can still send in some voicemail. There's still some time if you're listening live. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com. Send us your thoughts on the film, about any old thing, previous films we've done, anything you want. Feel free to let us know. And I guess that's it. That's all we got going on tonight. We do have one. Actually, we don't even have a voicemail right now. We have an email, but I'll get to that later, obviously.
I have a story for later on too, Johnny, but we can do it after the movie talk.
All right.
Hence the later on.
No.
Well, you just said I have a story for later on, but we can do it later.
Yeah.
It's essentially what you said.
I'm reiterating.
But it's the first time you said it. How can you be reiterating if you just said it just one time?
I'm just in case you missed it, in case there was a fucking glitch in the fucking sound.
But we didn't miss it. You said it one time. You can't reiterate something that you haven't said before.
Covering the bases. Hedging my bets. Sorry, John.
Yeah, you better be sorry. I feel salty tonight, Raven Channel. Sorry.
You're a little salty, yeah. You know?
I like it.
Yeah, there's been a change in your little Johnny.
Yeah.
You're hanging out with some weird people. Did Anthony fucking change you a little bit? I don't like that boy.
No,
Did like some actual meat circulate through your system at all, or?
Wow, how's that?
No, that won't happen.
No, of course not.
So
We need to get a mute button for when you belch and fart and everything.
yeah,
Jesus.
I
Christ.
fart. I don't fart.
Yes, you do.
The
I
hell
don't fart. Listen to this guy.
No, I mean on the radio I don't fart.
Okay, well you made
Fart
it
at
sound like
home.
you never do.
On my fucking
No,
chair,
of
yeah.
course I do. We all do.
Raven Chad doesn't. He's
I'm
perfect.
waiting for Wolfie to say, "Well, I don't."
I was.
Wolfie, do you fart?
Of course I do.
Okay, good.
You have his approval.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm
happy for you.
I have spoken.
I have spoken.
Triplets, give me a break.
Raven Chad, you want me to break out my sound clips from The Mandalorian?
I do. I know. I'm gonna make some people upset. 'Cause I'm gonna call on your show all the fucking time, John.
Yeah, but you're always going to be a week behind.
No, I watched. What now? So Friday is the day the new programs drop, right? Is that what?
Yeah, it's
or-
actually dropping in a few hours at 3 a.m. So I might stay up tonight and be an fucking idiot and stay up. I did wake up at 6 a.m. when it launched. This is This is what I'm going to use from now on. Whenever I have a good point, I'm just going to go ahead and say this.
I have spoken.
I never thought I'd see Nick Nolte as a fucking Ugnaught.
Oh, was he an Ugnaught?
That was him. That was Nick fucking Nolte, dude.
No, I know. Dude, speaking of fucking Eddie Murphy, 48 Hours, okay?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
full spectrum.
Yeah, he was an Ugnaught, man. From Bespin.
I fucking motherfucker.
You didn't realize that's what that character was?
Listen, hey,
I thought you watched the movies.
I gotta fucking hang out with Monster Zero. I can't fucking believe I fucking said
Wow,
that.
you know what? It was the end of Empire. They go to Cloud City. I know it's tough for you to stay awake that long in the movie.
It was the 80s. I didn't take drugs back then. But no, I know what an Ugnaught is, and I know that was Nick Nolte. I just didn't know you put my Ugnaught and my Ulti. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Put my Ugnaught in my Ulti.
Nolte?
yeah,
Nolte.
yeah. Oh, it was a fucking Ugnaught.
Yeah.
No.
And I saw that Werner Herzog's in it too.
Oh yeah, he is fucking awesome.
I thought I was reading like a report from The Onion. That's actually true.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Disney sucks, right?
Yeah, here I'll
Disney does
Them.
suck.
let me play the best line from him.
Although I acknowledge that bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
Fucking Werner Herzog.
Oh my god.
He said he's never
That's too funny.
he said he's never seen a Star Wars movie. Can
You know,
Awesome.
I would be laughing. I can't watch that because I'd be laughing too hard.
He was
Listen,
good. He was dope.
I would be, but it's Werner Herzog. I'd be laughing too hard at that.
It's
Than
Herzog.
getting any like actual entertainment through the story out of that.
But why is
because
that funny?
Because it's Werner Herzog. It just, oh my god.
you would like the episode. Quite frankly, you would.
No, I don't think I would.
I'm not fucking with you. I'm
I'm not
you.
fucking with you either. I'm
Let
sick
the
of-
closed-minded individual
I'm
just
so
be.
tired of Star Wars. Jesus.
Sick of all these Star Wars.
It should have just made the first 3 films and then say fuck the rest, man.
They should have said that with the fucking Transformers.
They should not be making any more of these movies. I mean, Bumblebee was good.
Well, if they
Bumblebee
do,
was
you're
good.
still gonna go fucking see him.
Well, that's because they're going in a completely different. They're going a completely different route.
Yeah.
And Michael Bay is not directing any of them.
Yeah,
This time, Optimus Prime is a fucking pilgrim and not a fucking Knight of the Round Table.
but even if he did, you'd still go see him.
I still haven't seen his last one, The Last Night. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't? That's when they revealed that.
I don't know what goes on in that movie. I've heard it was so terrible, and I'm not going to waste my mind on a bad movie. What?
What?
Time sink. Johnny.
Says,
What did I say?
I'm not going to waste my time on a bad movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, my head. Really?
Corny.
Wow.
Pick up.
Wow.
No, because no, I'm not interested. I'm really not interested in Michael Bay's bullshit. No one is.
So 4 times in a row you were. The 5th time, no.
Just to see
Fool me
if
3
anything-
times, you'll fall. Fool me 4 times, no way.
Just
no
to
way,
see
pal.
if he can finally get his ass straightened out.
Yeah.
He never could. So fuck him.
Yeah,
But Bumblebee was good. It's not
Yeah.
great.
you loved
but it
that
is good.
motherfucker when it came out.
That it's look, the reason why I gushed over it when it came out was because of those sequences that I showed you, Aries. Remember? That was completely it was completely G1.
Oh, you showed me the trailer.
No. I showed you the scenes.
The Cybertron scenes. and
Oh!
From Cybertron.
I didn't
yes.
even see the motherfucker. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, you showed me a lot of crap.
Be a
You
weird-
showed me a bad movie tonight that you were gushing over.
Oh, I know
think
that
it's
movie
I
was.
think it's a good movie. Don't get me going.
That's pretty.
It was in my top 13 most fucked up of all time.
No, not that one.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that one.
Oh,
No, I saw 2 movies tonight while we were waiting for you to comb your hair.
yeah.
Oh, Hot Ticket to Hawaii is awesome. You play that clip again.
I just got the Blu-ray for it today.
Yes, I saw that. I like that. You see how I
Oh
did
man,
that?
I can't wait. I can't wait to watch that. It's a great flick.
He's a Darius like a motherfucker.
All right. Well, let's
All right.
move on because getting to that time where the intro's getting long, right? All right. So if you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. Head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And for as little as $2 a month, you can help to support the show. And if you guys want exclusive audio, that would be a minimum of $5 a month. And as we've discussed in the past, I don't think we need to cover it again. There's a lot of things that are $5 that you can just say no to. And you know what? That's your $5 for the month. All right. So, help out and also get some stuff. And we're just right before we went on air, we were talking about potentially doing some stuff for the next couple Patreons. So we're getting some irons in the fire, so to speak. And if you guys have specific requests or ideas that you'd like to see, definitely let us know, and we'll definitely consider them. So. Patreon.com/trickortreatradio. Check it out if you haven't already. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all of our Patreon supporters so far. You guys are awesome, and we love each and every one of you. Now, also, it is close to the holidays. It's close to Black Friday, and a lot of you are going to do your shopping on Amazon. What you can do is head on over to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon link, the Amazon logo, and then click it. It's going to bring you right to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link, and then everything you purchase in that session will get attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So go ahead and use our link on Amazon, and we get a little cut. One other thing I wanted to mention, and I've actually had a few people bring this up to me in the past, and we are actually now, we have an affiliate link for Buzzsprout, which is our podcast host. So if you guys are interested in starting a podcast, we do have an affiliate link for that. It's in the show notes. So if wherever you listen to the show, go ahead and click on the link there. I think it says to start your own podcast, and then there's a link right there. And if you do that, you will get a $20 Amazon gift card, and we will get a little bit of money for sending you Buzzsprout's way. So anyone out there that's looking for a podcast host, you want to start your own podcast, I've sent a lot of people to Buzzsprout because we've been with them since the beginning, and they've done a great job. And I put all my podcasts on their site, and have never had any issues whatsoever. So if you guys are looking to do your own podcast, consider Buzzsprout. Use our link. You guys will get a $20 Amazon gift card, and then we will also get a cut as well. So helps both of us out, right, Raven Shadow?
Oh my God, it's fucking quid pro quo.
That's
In a way.
That's a sticky
It's illegal.
subject.
Yeah, habeas corpus.
What's that mean?
E pluribus unum.
Expecto patronum, all kinds of legal words. Okay? It's all legal mumbo jambo.
Mama Jahambo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mumbo jambo. Did you hear that?
Till now.
So if you guys are interested in starting your own podcast, use our link in the show notes. And once again, you get $20 and we get some money as well. So go ahead, give that a look. And also we have trickortreatradio.com. There's a store right on that site. Click on the store and you can buy some digital content. We got the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3, and we get some other stuff on there as well. So give that a look. All right, Raven Shadow, you sit down. I don't know if this is after you fell asleep watching The Mandalorian. I don't know where this falls in the timeline, but you sit down and watch The Nightingale. How did you prepare for this movie?
Well, here's the thing, Johnny. We started early, very economical. If you plan your evening right, you can do it the right way.
But you can have a plan right.
But in this time, it might be different because we, started The Mandalorian very early, 6 to 7. And that was over. Disney Plus, exciting. Oh, shit, Endgame's on. That's fucking crazy. Thanos, Marvel superheroes, Cap on your left. They're exciting, right?
I'm sorry, you fell asleep at 6 o'clock at night?
Listen, no, don't harp on one part of the story, Aries, all right? It's a journey, not a fucking...
You're an old fucking man.
Well, listen, so I gotta...
Is this after the early bird special, too?
Listen, there's no lines, okay? Before 5. Aries. So I watched Mandalorian, watched part of Endgame, with the early bird special, and then, I'm like, I want something very light and fluffy. I want to watch a comedy, something that'll maybe make me feel better about myself. And put this movie on.
You're looking for a comedy, huh?
And I gotta say, had I known then what I knew now, I probably would have watched Dolomite Is My Name again on the Netflix. But you know what I'm saying? So shit. What did I do? Mandalorian, fell asleep. Endgame, fell asleep.
My name is Dolomite.
Fell asleep. Watched a period piece set back in period times. So I had to.
I can't imagine where this is heading. I have no idea.
I don't know. I went to the dentist, Johnny.
You got to come back.
What are you doing?
Oh,
I had a cool prize pack at the dentist today. It was very nice.
Oh, God.
You got flosses. You got a bag. See that?
you get
Floss.
toothpaste and a toothbrush and a pencil box. What the fuck is going on here?
That's what I do before I strap on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, the bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music, pants, quoting video games that don't have dialogues, shabibers, tasty news,
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
Like me.
worry not, gentle listener. Next week, we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or straight from the tab, reductopus.buzzsprout.com.
This is Matt Kennedy of Astron 6. You might know me as Manborg. You might know me as Father John Sullivan in Father's Day. But what's important right now is that you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I can tell you I'm never coming back on this show. Especially now that I did that thing that you just made me do. Which I will be sending you an invoice for.
We're back on Trick or Treat Radio.
Hey.
Hey. And we're going to talk about the film The Nightingale. This film is rated R. It is 2 hours, 16 minutes. It is an adventure drama thriller. It first got a festival release in 2018 and saw a VOD release this year, 2019. And the film is written and directed by Jennifer Kent. And the film stars Ashleen Franciosi, Sam Claflin, Bakali Ganambar, Damon Harriman, Harry Greenwood, Ewan Leslie, and Charlie Shotwell. And the synopsis, set in 1825, Claire, a young Irish convict woman, chases a British officer through the rugged Tasmanian wilderness, bent on revenge for a terrible act of violence he committed against her family. On the way, she enlists the services of an Aboriginal tracker named Billy, who is also marked by trauma from his own violence-filled past. So, this film here is the follow-up, as we mentioned last week, for Jennifer Kent. She last did The Babadook. So she's done some TV since then, but this is her follow-up feature. So she did The Babadook in, let's see, was that 2014 officially. And so 4 years later, she has done The Nightingale. Actually, the TV stuff that she's done was as an actress. So I apologize. She hasn't directed any TV. She did Babadook and then right to this. So this is going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one here. This film, I didn't realize, and once again, it kind of hints at it in the synopsis, which I appreciate. It doesn't really tell you any major details, but this is a pretty brutal film. Pretty tough to watch at times, and there's a lot of Claire, the character of Claire, sort of is trying to get revenge. And this is definitely almost, and MZ, I'm sure you can speak to this, this is almost like by the numbers rape revenge film.
Not entirely.
Well, all right, not by the numbers. Like maybe I don't mean exactly, but this is all the hallmarks of like an I Spit in Your Grave kind of film.
It's in the beginning, yes.
To a certain degree, it is, yes. But this is far from exploitation.
Oh no, I would. You're right. You're right. I should have qualified and said that it's not exploitation, but it is similar in sort of the, not the pacing. What am I trying to say? It's
not the pacing. It's not the tone. It's just the subject matter involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the viciousness of it. It's handled much differently than it would be in a movie like I Spit on Your Grave. It's done with a little bit of tact, which is not very easy to do. So
yeah,
I'll say that right now. Yeah.
So there's. I mean, we can mostly talk about this because there's nothing. We did another. Man, I'm forgetting what movie it was, but we did a movie that essentially was like a rape revenge movie but you didn't realize it until the very end, right? Do you guys remember that one?
It was the one in the girl, the blood in the house.
No, not Revenge.
Oh, not Revenge.
No, that was right from the get-go.
Yeah, that was straight up. I don't recall, but there was one where if we said that it was that kind of film, it kind of ruined it, and I don't remember what it was now, unfortunately. But this one is pretty straightforward in terms of there's not a subversion really of what's going on. It's this girl is wronged and her family is she's abused, her family is abused, and then she wants revenge for it, and then she sets out to do it. But the interesting thing about this is it's another culture. It's they're in the Tasmanian wilderness, and not only is this is like sort of like, I don't mean the actual Wild West, but it's like Wild West in terms of like anything goes. There's it's a lawless. There's very little law, and there's a lot of danger, and so she needs to enlist the aid of a tracker, an Aboriginal tracker. And at this point in time, in 1825, race relations are not not quite as far as they've, despite having some issues now, they're
not as far as they were back in 1945.
Yes,
like
yes.
1945 was like, a gold era.
Or 1975.
This is like shoot on sight, basically.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, and there's a lot of racial stereotypical language that's used throughout the film, and so
could have been a lot worse.
Oh, could have been a whole lot worse.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, they just kept using the same term.
Yes, they did.
But
we all know what it means.
Right.
And I'm sure they... Go ahead, Eric.
I wonder why they... Not that I was rooting for to hear it, but I was wondering why they didn't use the N-word.
I don't know. Was that used in Australia?
That's what I was wondering, whether it was wasn't common back then on that continent, or whether they just chose not to have it in there.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the other, and because they refer to the Aboriginals as boy, like it's boy this, boy that, so it is interesting, and it could definitely be a cultural thing, because some filmmakers may want to shy away from that, which I totally understand, and some embrace it, like just Quentin Tarantino has embraced it, because he's calling attention to like
the reality
reality in a certain time, and also sort of referencing the source material of like exploitation films and stuff. So I can see that. But so just a little bit more about the girl who played Claire, who is the Nightingale, the titular Nightingale, was played by Ashleen Franciosi. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And people may know her as Lyanna Stark on Game of Thrones. She was kind of like she was in flashback scenes, so she wasn't a main character. I did not recognize her because a lot of the Lyanna Stark stuff, like, it's kind of quick little hit things, so I didn't recognize her necessarily. But that's, somewhere place people might recognize her. And just to kind of quick sort of summary of events is Claire, who is the Nightingale. She served her time, because she was a convict for stealing. Now, they don't say what, but I theorize that she probably was stealing food because she was poor, you know, and you know, and they didn't have a lot of stuff. So my guess is that whatever she stole was to try to help her and her family. You know, I don't think it was like, you know, that she's like a habitual, you know, lawbreaker. I think it was for necessity.
A big thing that was throughout the film too, even when she got together with, and I forget her guide's name,
Billy,
yeah. Who was great.
Oh yeah, he was awesome. Yeah.
Is it me, or did he look kind of like the dude from one of the Crocodile Dundee movies? Maybe the first one. He looked almost just like that dude, who was like, "Oh, you know, you can't take my picture. Oh, why? Because I'll take your soul. No, the lens cap's on." Like that dude. Like he looked just like that dude.
He had the same hair and same nose as that guy.
Yeah, right. Right. They had some certain similarities. But he was fucking great. I love that character.
Yeah.
But it seemed like that. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna echo those sentiments. I love the character of Billy, and I loved his journey. You know, like almost as much as I enjoyed Claire's. Like I thought that was a really nice surprise, and you know, because you initially meet him, and he's just a tracker basically. He's lives on the outskirts of the city, and white people will give him, you know, like next to nothing just to help them track the Tasmanian wilderness and go find people or get them to safety or whatever. So, you know, and of course there's the relations between the whites and the blacks in this is, you know, it's definitely not good. It's kind of like White Devil and you know, and like Scary Blacks, you know, like that's basically a representation of it, you know?
And it was so, I mean, there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh, yeah.
And even down to Claire, what happened to her in her experiences, yet she was still afraid about the black tracker. Like, you've experienced probably the worst thing that can happen to not only a woman, but to a person. And then let's up the ante.
Yeah.
But no, I'm afraid of the black. Like, what does that, you know what I'm trying to say?
Well,
like, in terms,
I mean, she was conditioned, you know, so like,
exactly.
Yeah. I certainly don't blame her. And she had been through a shitload, you know, like, but she kind of didn't care. I love how she was kind of like ordering him around at first. Like, you're going to do this, you know, like, cause she was basically a woman with nothing to lose. Like, this isn't really spoiler because it happens in the early part, you know, and maybe it's better to talk about because it could be, you know, kind of a trigger warning for some people. But you know, she gets raped in the beginning by the lieutenant, who is a fucking bastard, and and she tells her husband about it, and the husband was like, "I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna get him," and she's like, "No, don't," you know, because it's too, you know, like lowly peons, and there's this lieutenant who's trying to get like trying to be the captain of was like another town or something like that.
Yeah, basically he's bumping for a promotion. Basically, he takes this fucking job in this corner of the world, and he's hoping that he can kind of get his bones and, you know, get a promotion.
Yeah.
But, and forgive me if I missed this, but she's also indebted to him. So obviously either he vouched for her or he was.
Well, he promised to give her a letter, like a pardon, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
Which he absolutely will not do.
So she's
no matter how many times he says he's going to do it.
But not only is he the military force in the town, but she's also bound to him.
Yeah. Well, only because he keeps on saying he's going to do this, so she has to continue to be nice to him. Otherwise, that option is completely off the table.
Yeah.
She's believing that he's eventually going to do this.
And we can only assume that this probably relationship has been going on for a while. And now, I mean, she's still very young. I mean, she looks maybe 20, if that. So whether he was waiting his time to go to the next level in his perception, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the actress was born in 1993, so that would make her 25.
Yeah, but as we know, that doesn't mean.
No, I know, but I'm just.
She looks very young.
I'm just pointing it out.
Right.
My guess was 18 to 20 would be my guess as to what she was playing.
Right.
But she's but also her husband's also a convict, and they get to live together. So
yeah,
and that's how they were.
convict, I'm using finger quotes because, well, once again, we have no idea what they did and where they, like obviously these Englishmen are, making them vulnerable so that they rely on them. So I'm sure that there's something along those lines where, it's kind of like a barely crossing a line, but then getting in trouble for it, so that they have to sort of kowtow to the military force. So I think there is definitely something more to that going on. But so she tells her husband. Her husband basically goes up to the lieutenant and, basically, I think he says, "I'm going to kill you" or something like that. They get into a fist fight, and then it gets broken up. And then they get back to, and then eventually they're in the same place at the same time again. And the husband once again confronts the lieutenant, and things don't go well this time.
Yeah,
things go. It's actually because he screwed up his opportunity to get the promotion. That's what it was.
Yeah, because the lieutenant's superior caught him in the fight.
Yeah.
He realizes how much of more
loose
than
cannon.
the occasional fuck up and loose cannon that the lieutenant is, that Hawkins is. So he says, "Well, I'm declining your promotion."
Yeah. Now he can still go try and get the promotion himself, but he wasn't getting a recommendation from the captain of the town that they were in. So he's pissed, and they go to where Claire and her husband and baby are, and from there there's a fight that ensues, and then basically they make the husband watch as they all take advantage of Claire.
Yeah.
And the baby's crying, and they're like, "Shut that fucking baby up! Shut the baby up!" And oh my god, that was brutal.
And they also dispose of the husband as well.
Yes. So one of the other flunkies with the lieutenant is trying to keep the baby quiet, and the lieutenant basically says, "If you don't shut that baby up, I will." And obviously what that means. And I think everyone in the room knew what that meant. So he was trying to get him to be quiet, and he couldn't. And then the lieutenant yelled, and then, man, it's brutal. I do you want to say what happens, or
I'll say what happened.
Oh no,
don't say it. But it's not great.
It's a movie, for God's sakes.
But no. Listen, I mean, this is a lot.
You heartless prick! I almost shut this movie off at that point.
It was pretty close. I mean, and yes, is shit. I fucking hate this kind of shit. Even in movies.
That was hard, and for me, human death isn't as impactful as animals. I gotta say, because it's I don't know, it's not a big deal. It happens. But animals, for me, I feel they're helpless. They can't help themselves. But in this case, with the baby, that was fucking rough, man. That to me was I felt my heart and my foot, and I don't often feel that, when I watch movies.
And also,
I was just gonna say. Well, also, it's that sudden. It's not just the idea of how the baby dies. It's that instant snap, quick.
Oh yeah.
A quick note of silence. It was and it's that quick cutoff on silence. That's what really sells it for me.
And that was it's hard to say when, once again, at this point in the film, we've already seen two pretty much back-to-back assault scenes.
Yeah.
She's raped 3 times in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it wasn't gratuitous in the sense where it by no means was it even ever titillating, and not that it would be, but you didn't see gratuitous, but it did go over a long fucking time, and it was as tasteful as it could be. But I think the length of the scene is what made it more and more uncomfortable.
Well, that's where I disagree that it was tasteful at all.
But I suppose I'm
tactful.
With the word.
It was tactful.
Well, not even that. Because
let me just clarify.
It wasn't gratuitous. Let's say that.
is what
Yeah,
I'm
but I
trying-
mean, it was excessive because you know what? It didn't need to go on for as long as it
Correct.
did to get the point across.
And I was getting pissed and uncomfortable. I kind of fast forward a little bit.
Yeah, but you know what? We're guys. We can say, I mean, we have like an out when it comes to this sort of thing because we can always say, well, we think it's gone. We think it's gone on too long. Meanwhile, there are women out there that have been actually raped and saying, "Oh yeah, you have no idea how long this is." So I sympathize with the character of Claire in this situation.
100%.
I don't sympathize with anybody who feels that this has gone on too long. Especially since this was done by a female director, which I think plays a big part in how this was played out.
Yeah.
Especially. And that's why it wasn't gratuitous. That's why it wasn't exploitive. This was purely to show just how brutal and how it feels like it's going on for an eternity of somebody being raped. And I understand that, and I got that. And they played it out in the best possible way. I don't think you could have played this out any better. I think the way she directed these scenes and had them edited in a certain way and blocking, I think this was played out to an almost masterful way. I applaud the director on this because there was no other way this could have been done.
Yeah, and it showed you the impact of it. And I mean, once again, as MZ sort of pointed out, like for a woman, like even 2 minutes, like that is something that's going to last a lifetime for that woman, and so yeah, there's no tasteful way to do it. There's no good way to do it. I think that this was as effective as you could do it without being exploitive. And I think also we talked about this with the film Revenge, that also similarly did it in a way that, and once again, 2 rape revenge films directed by women, Revenge and The Nightingale. So I think that there's a focus on making sure that it's not titillating or gratuitous or, or whatever. It's because once again, even just not even showing it and intimating that it's happening is probably too much for some people,
Yeah, facial features and body language and just using your motions, that all worked. You didn't need to have any nudity. There was no nudity in any of these scenes at all. None. It's just what's suggested in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to clarify, like, tasteful was not the right word.
Okay.
Before, like, you know what I'm talking. You know what I mean, though, right? Like, like there was. I meant it wasn't.
Yeah. We probably said that in the past with with Revenge or something like that. But yes, clarified and understood. Yeah. So, yeah, man, the first 25-30 minutes of this are fucking brutal, and so baby's dead, husband's dead. She is visibly and understandably
and probably in fucking shock.
Yeah,
too.
shock and horror.
Yeah, because after she's raped the 3rd time, she's knocked out with the butt of a rifle.
Oh, right, and they thought she was actually dead.
Yeah.
So clearly she was heavily injured, and they had thought they had left her for dead. And then so he goes off. The lieutenant and his little cronies go off to bring him to that town to see if he can get the promotion by talking to the person himself. So they traverse the dangerous terrain with a tracker named Charlie, who we find out is friends or
mentor.
Yeah, mentor to Billy, who we meet as well. So.
But keep in mind though too, like the lieutenant does a fucking once again being a fucking dick, trying to prove himself that he can navigate this dangerous terrain. Basically, if he can get to the rendezvous in a certain amount of time, he's going to prove his mettle as a master of the bush, so to speak.
Yeah,
he can master this land and the savages by crossing this fucking,
And you better believe there's no way he even if things had gone smoothly, there's no way Charlie was living through that because he was going to take all the credit,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they go off to, I can't remember the name of the town, but they go off to the town, and then we have Claire, who basically is sort of a little bit behind. She takes care of things and has her friends or housemates basically bury the baby and the father, and I thought it was a nice touch. She said, make sure the baby's in his arms to keep him safe. Like that, even that was heart-wrenching, But yeah, it was pretty rough. And then she takes pretty much the only possession she has left of her husband's is the horse, Becky. And that's like the only thing that she has of her husband's left, basically. And so she takes the horse, and then she heads out, and the housemaid or the friend basically says, you can't go it alone. You need to get a tracker, and he introduces her to Billy, and she's basically like, I'm not going with him or whatever. Like, she just didn't want the company of an Aborigine
Because he's black. Right,
because he's black, yeah. But as she finds out that she would need him, and he knows how to get through there, how to traverse the terrain and stuff. So, they start off with this pretty rough friendship. I wouldn't even call it a friendship. It's a rough business
dynamic.
Yeah, business dynamic. So, but and they encounter different things. There's other slavers they encounter along the way. There's just other tribes, and they encounter a lot of different things. And so having Billy was huge for her, because otherwise she definitely wouldn't have made it,
And he knows that she couldn't get through without him. So
yeah.
I mean, I really like his attitude throughout the whole thing. I mean, he's got this attitude. He's got an attitude that can almost pass for today's world, really.
No, it's fair. And then as you learn more about his backstory and why he's like that, but even like, I hired you to protect me. It's like, no, you hired me to get you somewhere.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
He's much smarter than she is willing to accept.
But the way he would like stealth out, he'd be walking, all of a sudden, almost like ninja fucking vanished. So he didn't see the fucking dude.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, this. The choice to make this film after the Babadook, that is a bold fucking choice, because the Babadook was, for all intents and purposes, a big critical success for Jennifer Kent. It got her on the map. It got her in a lot of people's minds that she's someone to look out for. And to follow up with this is like, that's for lack of a better term, that's putting your balls on the table. That's like putting it all out there, like, fuck, like, that's bold. I know you agree with me, MZ, because this is not an easy film to make.
Yeah, no, yeah, I suppose so. I mean, the Babadook really, really good. And I mean, it's basically, Jesus, I don't even know what you would call it. Monster movie, ghost story, I don't know.
Yeah, and also a sort of a examination of grief. There's a lot. It's a pretty deep film, but that one played well for the horror crowd, and also for some of the critics, and also the art house crowd. But this one definitely, like Aries said, he almost turned it off. And that's Ares. That's the god of war. And for him to say that, like, I'm sure a lot of people are going to turn this off, because
and you know what? I'm sure that's exactly what she wanted.
Yeah.
That's what she was looking for.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not putting down your parental efforts, but Raven Shadow, but Aries is the only one that that has birthed a son, I guess I'll say, or daughter, So
you were pregnant?
Fucking hurt like a son of a bitch.
Boy, where did that baby come out from?
Came out of his beehole.
Oh shit.
So
content.
But so Aries is the only one of us that is, that was part of making a child and having him grow up, and like that alone, I think definitely probably gives you a slightly different perspective. And Raven Chow, you probably have a different perspective as well because, you were rent with the option to buy.
Yes.
So you went through some of that as well. So I'm sure that that was impactful. But man, like, yeah, that was tough. That was a tough scene, and I was like, wow, like I was just kind of floored at that scene, and I just was curious where they were going to take it from there. And
that's it was like those movies when like, oh shit, it's like the bank robbers rob the bank and they shoot the guard. All right, when you shoot the guard, where the fuck is happening to the hostages? It's that moment where like it's fucking all fucking crazy shit now. It doesn't whatever happens, basically there's no rules now. Anything can happen. Once it became quiet, there's no reason to stand on ceremony. You know what I mean? There's no reason to be polite at that point.
Right, exactly. And so from there we get, she's tracking these guys. And so the one who killed the baby, I actually really liked that scene when she caught up to him, because that was exactly what should have happened, right? Like that's like the way that she took care of him.
Oh, yes.
Because she's not prepared either. She went off like a bat out of hell with a horse and shell shock.
Yeah. And that's the thing I liked about it too, was that she wasn't all of a sudden a fucking sharpshooter and, like a survivalist, she just was a helpless little girl who had revenge on her mind,
Right. It wasn't like Harley Quinn having Stockholm syndrome to becoming a ninja. I'm not sure I'm still fuzzy on how that jump happens. Someone please explain to me. Maybe James Gunn will do it. But yeah, she just was fucking pissed. And it shows like how fucking shitty, whether it be, indigenous people or women were treated. Even like her peers in her job, there was that fucking pain in the ass that was yelling at her.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
the head mother or whatnot.
These aren't coworkers. They're other, criminals. They don't like each other. They're not friends. So she was pissed that she had to watch that child while she watching the child and cooking the food while she got to go sing for the troops, essentially.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like she got the break. She got to wear the pretty dress. She got to be out there.
And then she got to be raped.
Well, the woman in the kitchen did not know that.
Okay.
So that I'm explaining to why she was so cold to her.
No, I understand.
Okay, well you didn't seem to understand.
I did.
She didn't see the movie because she was in a different scene.
So, but these, like the lieutenant and those the soldiers that were with him, they were fucking deplorable humans. They were like the worst of the worst. They were like worse than any horror movie villain that I've seen in years.
Yeah,
they were pretty shit. And like the sergeant, he kind of reminded me of Michael Rooker meets the dude from the fucking Warriors.
Hawkins?
No. He's talking about the
drunk.
The drunk.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
The one that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was Ruse.
Yeah, Ruse. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he was a dick.
Yeah.
And even what he did with the Aboriginal woman, like that was fucking horrible too.
That was like fucking really, dude. Like that was a point where like, all right, we just had 2. We're gonna get some fucking more.
No, 3.
You're right.
Now we're gonna get another one.
Now 4 and 5, and that was where I'm like, all right, I want to fucking watch fucking X-Men fucking on Disney Plus. $7.99 a month. Watch Mandalorian. But yeah, I was like, I'm fucking sad, Johnny. Now I'm fucking depressed.
That is where you get sad?
No, but no. It was fucking a lot. It was a lot of sadness, and now I'm like, I'm fucking just want to watch fucking,
You know what?
You wanted to watch the inside of your eyelids for a little while.
Yeah. I couldn't fall asleep now.
To a certain degree, I was starting to hit the edge of that enough is enough.
Yeah, it almost became too
I
much.
just gotta,
yeah.
I just gotta, but I'm trying to keep in my mind as I'm watching this film during these scenes. By the way, and it's just like Wolfie said, it's a lawless time in a lawless area, filled with a bunch of creeps, assholes, and just fucking rotten people.
Right.
And really, the only people that are trying to survive throughout this whole thing are the women, outside and as well as the tracker Billy. The only thing he has to worry about is getting shot. Meanwhile,
the only thing, yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, women, they have to worry about getting raped and shot.
And that's the thing. I know this must sound fucking like people must be like, I can't wait to. Is this on Redbox? When's this coming out?
I can't wait to see this.
Yeah, it's a party film. Come on over.
Fun for the whole family.
There's a lot of fucking sadness and tragedy, but when it does become the quest for the hunt.
Raven Shadow, dare you say comeuppance?
Yeah, once you're waiting for the comeuppance, the road to comeuppance, I was glad that I stuck with it. You know what I mean? Where a couple of years ago, I'd be like, fuck you, Don. I'm going to make it up as I go along.
There is a limit. And I think that's what Kent's intention is. Particularly with these rape scenes, is that we're going to film these rape scenes and you, the man, is going to watch it. And I don't care how turned off you are. I don't care how disgusted you are. You're going to watch this. It's
an interesting way to put it, MZ. Yeah, keep going.
And I'm thinking, you're going to watch this because if we as women have to put up with this shit for as long as we have, you, the man, are going to sit through it and watch us deal with it, whether you like it or not.
My problem with that, with that statement and with that possible thinking, is she's not making this movie for men. She's making this movie for everyone. And a woman that has been raped would have an extraordinarily difficult time sitting through this movie. I would be surprised if any woman that was raped could make it past the first 15 minutes of this movie.
I would agree.
Which is part of why I have a problem with the way it is portrayed, because you're eliminating some of your audience, some of probably your target audience.
But once again, not to fucking shit that fucking, it's a slippery slope, but never underestimate the strength that someone may have.
No, I'm not saying that women are weak because they were raped or that they.
I know that.
You live through a horror. You're not going to want to relive that horror through cinema. I mean, you know what? Think about the worst thing that ever happened to you. Are you going to want to watch it on a movie screen or on a television? No.
I prefer not to, but I think you. What's the point when? And once again, I'm. How do you avoid certain?
Well, but I mean, there's portraying it, and then there's fucking portraying it in this movie. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, a woman that was raped doesn't, there's a rape scene. I'm staying away from this movie.
Right.
No, but it's just like they're uncomfortable, which that's what the rape scene is supposed to do. But then it's like, okay, now you're really making this uncomfortable. Like
and for men and women.
Well,
too.
But it's dragging out. I mean, that's why I think it's to the excess unnecessarily.
I don't think men or women have to watch this if they don't want to watch this. I mean, if
well, that's the case with any movie.
True, but what I'm saying is that if women want to watch this movie and are a victim, and we're a victim of sexual assault.
Survivor.
Thank you. And we're a victim of sexual assault.
A survivor of sexual assault.
Oh,
he's right. You know what?
Whatever. God damn it.
It's all in language.
I got some language for you.
Any survivor of a tragedy.
Yes. All right. A sexual assault survivor. Okay. Eye of the Tiger.
Jesus.
It's up to them if they want. If they might want to see a movie like this as a form of therapy, maybe in a way. I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know
but
about that.
I know. I understand it's a stretch. It's a stretch. I understand. But there's also, some that would just like to watch it just to see the men who perpetrated that get their comeuppance. So there's that as well. I know I'm making a joke out of that, but I'm serious.
You know what?
Serious.
It's not even that type of movie. I mean, if you wanted to really break it down to the simplest terms, it is a rape revenge movie, but it's not like rape revenge. It's rape, assault, rape. Assault. It's just the revenge aspect of it is so far down the line. If you're in it for the revenge aspect of it, you've checked out so long ago, because it's just so much that just weighs on you to get to that. If you're in it for the revenge, you're not watching this movie for the right reasons.
And that's fair. Unlike, say, what was the Jared Blinkoid joint? The fucking Nail Gun Massacre.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was and that was a pretty fucking intense scene as well. A different kind of
amazed
scene.
you remembered.
Right? Yeah. Well,
you didn't fall asleep watching that.
Well, it was Jared Blinkhorn. No, it was Tony Blinkhorn. Okay.
You spent a lot of time with him in the house.
Listen, it was an A, not enough. Okay. And B, he's Italian.
See, he hung out with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He did, yeah.
True, yeah.
Everyone's got a plus. Right, Ollie.
I just think that the rape scenes are meant to make the men feel more uncomfortable than the women. I just think that they're done in a way where it says, the women put up with this shit for far too long, and it's always done in one of two ways. Either it's done too short, the footage is too short, or it's done to such an exploitive level that the guys get off on it. Here, they take all the titillation out of it, all the sexuality out of it. Not that there ever really is any to begin with. Let me just make that clear. And just made it agonizingly long without any nudity. So the man has absolutely zero reason to enjoy any of this. I think the rape scenes in this movie are done as a PowerPoint to put men in their place. I think it works.
At no time does any rape scene feel worse for a guy than it does for a woman, unless it is a rape of a man.
Yeah, but even you said that this was there were agonizingly long rape scenes.
Yes, but it is worse for a woman than it is for a man. As uncomfortable as it was for me to watch that, threefold for a woman to watch it.
It's not. That's the thing. It's about power. It's about being fucking dominated, being a fucking dick. It's nothing. That's the. It conveyed its job. I mean, this is not supposed to be a comedy, right? This isn't supposed to be and it's supposed to create something, and she did that. Where there's a lot of uncomfortable, fucking mean-spirited shit in this.
Yeah,
but there was also some great acting as well.
Yeah.
And the jobs that were done, was the lieutenant a fucking straight up dick? Yeah. And I don't know the man in real life, but I'm sure he was acting. You know what I mean?
You'd like to think he was. In fact,
acting or not, I'd smack him if I ever met him.
Well,
you know what? That's because I thought he put in the best performance. The guy who plays Hawkins, Sam Claflin.
Yeah.
And
I think he put in the best performance in this movie.
He'd arranged too when you first meet him. And then you kind of get a sense when he calls her in the room, like, oh, fuck, this guy's going to be a fucking douche. Like, oh, yep, douche of the highest order. But then his even descent his arc and his journey, and there's a lot of things that he did.
I don't see any arc in him at all.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. There's no
There
arc.
is no
Well, so
arc.
There's a little
arc.
climb, and then it just stays right there.
So maybe descent is the right word. His descent into
He does.
It gets worse.
He does get worse.
Right. So I mean,
because
like
because of the little boy Eddie.
right.
And he takes him under his wing. Then he, at one,
Yeah, what he does to him.
yeah,
His jungle madness, so to speak.
Oh, no, I don't want you to spoil anything.
no, I wasn't going to.
I was just I was trying to be a little subtle about the.
Yeah.
Well, next time, be like, hey,
Slap him, yeah.
Apparently, a little touch and a pad downward wasn't enough.
Don't pull a dynamo.
Weird, like
yeah,
like
the scene with Eddie. That was,
scenes.
yeah, it was crazy. It's like Jesus Christ, and so like, yeah, I think Hawkins is like the ultimate in just total douchebaggery. I mean, seriously, this guy is a complete and total asshole. He is the Roger Ailes of 1820s.
Now you're hoping that he's putting on the best acting performance.
I'm pretty sure he is.
He could be the ultimate douchebag, and this is just him.
That's the thing, yeah.
I mean,
She could have bumped into him in a bar and went, "I'm going to make a movie about you."
There's a couple of scenes with him and Charlie where I'm like, what was the fucking craft service table like? like, do you think he would work extra hard to you want a napkin? Like, do you want he would let me pull a chair out, because there was some awkward lines of dialogue. Fucking rude.
Like, I mean, you look at David Hess in Last House on the Left. You look at David Hess in Hitchhike. You look at David Hess in in House on the Edge of the Park. And essentially that was this guy.
Look at Bill Moseley.
All right, I'll look at him.
Probably nice fucking guy, very nice guy, but he plays some fucking degenerate fucking characters.
Yeah.
Or Piper.
Yeah.
Played a fucking great fucking heel.
Yeah. It's all called acting. And this guy is an actor.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm saying you're hoping he's a very good actor.
Yeah, otherwise.
Well, he's been in a pretty good amount of stuff. He was in the Hunger Games films. He's in the upcoming Charlie's Angels. He was. He's also in Peaky Blinders.
I mean, I'm looking at the awards he won. He won Best Male Newcomer at the Empire Awards in 2012.
I don't care about awards.
No, but it shows to his acting technique and his acting ability. That's what these awards are about. So yes, the man is an actor. And he's a good actor. I mean, he has me. I haven't seen him in anything else, but he has me convinced in this one.
Okay. You're missing my point with this, though.
What?
I mean, you're saying you haven't seen him in anything else, and he's a complete douchebag in this. So I'm saying you're hoping he's a good actor because he could just be a douchebag.
Oh God.
That's all I know
because
what you're saying is he's the greatest actor in this show. No, he's portraying the biggest douchebag, but it could not be a stretch.
How do you deal with a guy like this?
How do you deal with a guy like this?
I'm trying to prevent you from making statements like that. That
what?
You're praising this guy and you don't even know him. Like his acting ability.
What's wrong with praising a guy on his acting ability?
Well, you're saying he's the greatest actor. No,
I didn't say he was the greatest actor. I said he put in the best performance in this movie.
Jesus.
Moving on.
I mean, he was good. I mean, everyone was good. Everyone was good fucking actors. You know what I mean? I felt they were in the fucking 18th century or whatever the fuck.
Oh God.
1800s.
Shut up.
I know what century it was.
Just shut up.
I was trying to help you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for helping me.
Good. Aries wants to punch you for real.
My God. I'm all on whiskey. I'm so pissed.
I have some more. I might have a little bit left.
So, I was just going to say that I wanted to also comment on the kind of growing friendship between Claire and Billy. I thought that was like really organic and well built. Like I liked how it was done, And I really liked both of those characters quite a bit.
Oh, it was so great. Even the fact they bonded even over when he was complaining about her being white English. She's like, no, I'm fucking from Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, we both hate the British. Like, which is truly magical. You can always promote, unification between two sides by hating somebody else. And that's special.
That's how most friendships are formed.
That's true. It's like, he's a fucking asshole. Yeah, he is. You want to hang out? All right, cool. Let's talk shit about that guy.
Well, yeah, I loved how they bonded, and you could still feel how they were still a little uncomfortable with how familiar they were getting with one another.
Yeah.
Like they understood that it wasn't socially acceptable, so they were both uncomfortable with their relationship, and it was subtle, but I love the way that they portrayed that.
Oh, I mean, once again, it's fucking, what year is it? 2019. It could even still be fucking weird in certain fucking circles, let alone back when fucking things were running amok.
Oh yeah, you go to
people for real.
You go to the right part of the wrong part of the country, and
right.
And them just even talking, people would be like, and just that talk, you're like whispering around their back about shit. Oh yeah.
Let alone when fucking you will get shot.
Oh yeah, well she has to pretend to be holding him prisoner, just to walk down the road with him.
Fucking hey, that fucking scene.
And you know what? Yeah. There was scenes where Aborigines were talking to one another. You had no clue what they were saying because they were speaking their language.
Right.
But you could still feel what they were saying. You didn't know what they were saying, but you could feel it. It was weird. There was passion in the voices, in what they were saying.
And I'm assuming that was all in real language and real rituals and whatnot. I would think.
I would have to assume, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that language. So.
And once again, I would love them on any day of the week, but I would love to hear fucking Dane or Tim, or even Dave, Jack, and Mark chime in if they watch this flick with their perspective.
Yeah, I like
the Australian perspective.
Yeah, or Goro, because he's fucking smart about everything.
I really liked how before when Billy was singing and he was talking about how he's the blackbird. And he would be singing and all this other stuff, and Claire would be like, "Shut up, that sounds awful." Then when it's terrible, stop singing. Then as their relationships start to grow, their friendships start to grow.
Yeah,
he's doing it more and more, and she's just laying back and just it not bothering her at all. So their friendship is starting to blossom as the film continues, or at least their trust for each other.
And they're exchanging their own cultural backgrounds.
Right.
Yeah, I thought that relationship was done really well. I enjoyed that, and I liked seeing them on screen. And you almost, when they were separated, or you weren't sure if they were gonna see each other again. It was kind of a little anxious to see if they get back together again. So I thought that was nice. And I guess there's not too much we can talk about in regard to the end. I will say I feel like we were denied. How do I say it? I feel like we were denied something in this.
You think the payoff wasn't worth the...
Well, I'm not going to say it wasn't worth it, but I feel like
the
payoff was maybe not quite the way I anticipated. Let's just say that.
I agree.
It subverses I think a lot of what this movie does, it subverts what you think is going to happen. And I think part of me almost wonders if it sprinkled those elements in to think it would go that way.
Well, one way I'm glad it didn't go is in the exploitation way, because in your typical rape revenge film, there is an exploitation way in which the rapists are taken care of. That doesn't happen here, and that's smart. That's smart for two reasons. One, that this film is not like that. Okay, it was never meant to be like that. It's not played out like that. Number two is the time frame, I think, in which this film takes place. I don't think doing that took, or maybe it did. I don't know. That kind of retribution took place back then. Maybe it did. I don't know. Maybe it did.
Interesting. Okay.
But I'm glad it did not go that route. But regardless of that, I do still feel that the ending is a bit underwhelming.
Yeah. There was some nice moments, though. Like, I liked, this isn't really a giveaway, but she had a line where she said, "I belong to me and no one else." And, like, that whole speech that culminated in that line, I thought was real. Like, that was almost like the end. Like, I wouldn't say the end, but that was almost like her giving it back in a way, you know?
And that's a scene that I didn't picture.
Yeah.
You know, I think as our two heroes had more and more of a stake in what they were doing, I think both of their denouement, so to speak, fit their character and fit the time in ways that I didn't expect either of those. You know, her and what she did, it may have subverted the usual, double R, type movie fucking tropes. But for her doing that, you got fucking balls of steel.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't do that back then. And you definitely see the way perception was of, indigenous people or women, how they looked down upon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how easily, no matter what level they were, or fine, maybe they were all convicts, but still, no one gave a shit about Claire. No one gave a fuck.
No.
But for her to roll in with fucking balls like fucking, grapefruits, that sent a message to fucking certain people.
Yeah. And obviously with other things that happened, it ultimately like wouldn't have mattered, but still like that was sort of like almost a bit of revenge in a sense. Not, no way is it equal to what was done to her, but it's as Raven Shadow would say, a little bit of comeuppance, and I thought that was a nice scene. But I think what happens after that was a little bit of a letdown, or it just, I guess in a way, I can't, it's hard to say without being spoilery, so I guess we'll maybe avoid that conversation. But, I think something we could maybe talk about off air. But aside from that, I think that this is a really powerful movie that, whether or not you enjoy the payoff or if you feel it was, even slightly inadequate, I think it's still an effective film. And like MZ said, or I think it was MZ or maybe it was Aries, but, like kind of like forcing us to watch this. And it's almost like, you guys will probably make fun of me, but a lot of those documentaries about going vegan, they show the slaughterhouses, right? Like once you're faced with the reality of what happens, you may not want to go that route again. You may not want to go and eat meat because you see how it's made. So in a sense, like being, and in no way am I comparing the two because they're completely, they're different. But, in seeing the actual act and being forced to kind of watch it, in a way, it's like, oh shit, like this is what they go through, like, so it was definitely a difficult scene or scenes to watch. But I think in a sense, I don't remember, I think it was you, MZ, but I think it's important to show it, So is there anything else you guys want to bring up about this film before we head to the verdict, or what do you guys think?
Let's just go to the verdict. I think our final thoughts will be brought up then.
Okay. Oh, Aries, I'm fucking fascinated now. Aries has been like,
you know what? Because I'm a little done. I'm done.
Okay,
this movie fucking wore me out.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Because now I'm thinking
Not
of
because of its two and a quarter hour
GMA
one
crickets.
run.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like Aries is like harnessing his chi, like fucking Danny Rand right now. Even
No. I mean, I got a little something, but no, it's not going to be like I'm not going to break the fucking internet here.
he will have a review unto like a thing of iron. I can't fucking wait.
It's not going to be like you're not going to get that praise from Rocky like he gave you.
Like some of the Kraken.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the verdict. If it'll play.
Oh, okay. My head was broken.
Yeah, the player froze, so let me just give it a second, see if it recovers.
Trick or treat, motherfucker. I'm sorry, is that not good enough?
Yeah. You almost got it.
Okay.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people will say it's a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
Well, I had to restart it, but
All
you guys almost got it. So,
Yeah. All right, was it a trick or a treat?
Any final thoughts we may have? Raven Shadow.
Oh, thank you, John.
go for it.
Listen. There's a lot of fucking walking in this movie too. Like I thought I was fucking going to Mordor by the time fucking we got to the end of this. It was fucking.
Oh, it's not that bad.
There was a lot of fucking walking in this movie. Like I feel like I could have walked to most of your houses during this runtime.
Even mine?
Yeah, probably not. But I did like this film. But it's fucking rough. I don't know who I can recommend this to. It's like, hey, do you like fucking 2.5 hours of walking in the woods, 6 rapes, multiple deaths of people, and nothing fun at all? If you do, then you'll like this movie. So I don't know how to recommend this, but I think if you somehow this came across your desk, I would love to have a conversation about it because it's fucking rough, dude, and it's supposed to be. This ain't fucking, Disney Plus streaming. This is this film's saying something, and it's a lot of content. But despite the subject matter, there are parts where I really get into, and I'm curious to see how it ends. So I think there was great performances, even from the most vile of characters. They did a great job. And while I didn't love the Babadook, I thought this was a very incredible, second coming, if you will. As are the costumes. The fucking costumes are fucking great.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, as far as set goes, they had access to woods, so I mean, you really can't praise that. But there was some great costumes through this, and it really came across on screen. So. Am I going to watch this again? I don't know. It's definitely not a chilly on a Sunday morning, vibe. But
no.
Hey, you know what I mean? But it was incredible. It was rough, and I really enjoyed the character's journey. I think it really kept it real too. Claire didn't become Atomic Blonde. She didn't become Gunwoman. She didn't become Black Widow. All the characters kept it real for their world and what they ended up accomplishing or didn't accomplish. So, fuck you, Hawkins. But I would say this is a treat.
All right, Aries.
I will never watch this movie again. That being said,
you're not going to watch this for Thanksgiving?
No,
with the family.
Come on over. Yeah.
Let's watch Nightingale.
Yeah, bring the kids.
Grandma, come sit next to me.
Is she a nurse?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
This movie was shot brilliantly. The scenes were perfect. Some of the dream, not some of them, all the dream sequences. We didn't even touch on them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
True.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
They really just brought the turmoil she was going through to to light.
Yeah.
And that added so much to the movie. Yeah. But like I said, I will never watch this movie ever again. This is one of those movies that you need to watch it once and then that's it. And you live with it. This is a movie you live with.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's a good movie. You need to watch this movie. You will live this movie. You will never want to watch this movie ever again. I know I've said in the past, I hate our 2-word system for how we rate our movies.
Yeah.
I've never gone away from that. Today I'm going away from that. I will not say one way or the other because the positive is not what this movie is.
Okay.
I cannot say that word about this movie. And I will not say that word about this movie because it is not. But you need to watch this movie. And that's where I will leave.
So he's recommending it. All right, MZ.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to bring up the dream sequences, and so you got that one for me. So thank you. The performances in this movie are very, very good. The rape scenes are hard to watch, but yet done with a certain amount of tact, about as tactful as you could possibly get. So they're expertly filmed, if that's even a qualification on something like that. But yes, the dream sequences were great. There's some interesting camera work here too that they only used for a very short amount of time. Where they used a point of view camera shot while I think it was Claire going through the woods, and they only used it one time, and I thought that was kind of an interesting choice to make. I don't know why they decided to go that route. Kind of takes it out of the rest of the film because none of the rest of the film is like that. I also feel that some of the actually no, I don't want to say that. That's a bit of a spoiler. I will agree that I think the ending is a bit underwhelming, but I think the final shot in that movie is fantastic, and it says so much about the rest of the film. Great performances all around. I thought Claflin was very good as Hawkins. The actress who played Claire was great. Billy was great. Some really great performances all around. Very good movie. I don't know if I would want to watch it again myself. I think that might be one of the hindrances of this film is that this might be a one and done for a lot of people. This movie, I mean, unless you're a really big fan of this movie or just a complete sadist, I don't see this movie having a very high rewatchability, not very high rewatchability value. So that hurts the film a little bit. Regardless of that, this is a very excellently made film. Very good movie. Well shot. Everything about it just hits, just hits the notes just perfectly. This is good. This is a treat for me. I enjoyed it.
All right, and for me, yeah, it's a really well made film, and I think on this one, despite it being, tough to stomach at times, I think Jennifer Kent gets to flex her, her filmmaker muscles a little bit more in this. Because Babadook, I think I liked it, and it's a good movie, but it's a very different kind of movie. And this one has more scenery. This one is, there's more to do in terms of shooting it, because you're out in the wilderness and you can get different shots and things like that. So I think Babadook being a little bit more claustrophobic with a lot more close-ups and things like that. I think this one here, she was able to kind of spread her wings, so to speak, no pun intended, Nightingale, and just kind of do a little bit more with it. And I think she shows that she is definitely a steady hand, and she's a great filmmaker. And I personally am looking forward to seeing what she does next, because between these two films, that's quite variance in what she presents, and with some serious subject matter in both. So I'm curious to see what she's going to tackle next. This is a tough watch, and there are definitely trigger warnings for anyone out there. As we've said, there's several rape scenes. There is baby violence. There is some tough stuff to watch, and it's not for everyone. This is going to be a movie that's going to turn some people off. And just for example, just take what Ari said, and he almost shut this movie off within 15 to 20 minutes. So, some people are it's going to be difficult to get through, but if you stick through it, if you can and are able to, I think that this is a well-told story. There's some important things being said, and I think that it is ultimately a well-made film. So for me, it is a treat. It is difficult to recommend, but I think it is a really well-made film. So that is our discussion of The Nightingale. And as always, if you guys check it out and want to leave us your thoughts, you can always send them to us, podcast@trickortreatradio.com. But yeah, I think it was Raven Channel called out. I wouldn't mind getting some feedback from our Australian listeners about this. Once again, I mean, none of them lived in 1825, but I'd be curious to get some cultural input about this. So, all right. Well, for next week, I wanted to pick something a little bit less heavy, and we've been doing some pretty heavy stuff lately. So I wanted to choose something that is maybe a little less heavy, and it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. It's a South Korean movie, and it is an action movie first, action horror thriller called The Divine Fury. And the synopsis is really brief. It says an MMA fighter helps an exorcist fight evil.
Sold.
So I've seen the trailer, and it looks pretty phenomenal. So this one hits VOD and Blu-ray and DVD. Actually, I'm looking right now on Amazon, and it comes out on November 19th. So that's a few days from right now. So people can catch that on the 19th. But if you guys want to play along at home, like I said, it'll be available for Blu-ray, DVD, and also digitally as well. So go ahead and give it a look. Check out The Divine Fury, South Korean film from director Kim Joo-hwan. Let me just see. I don't recognize his name. I just want to see if we've seen anything that he's done, and nope, we have not. So fairly newer filmmaker. He's only got three films under his belt. So all right, we're gonna check out The Divine Fury. Looking forward to that one. If you guys want to play along at home, feel free. Well, we don't have a lot more going on. We actually didn't get any voicemail at all this week. So we do have an email, though, and it is from one of our Australian friends, and it's Tim Chuma.
Nice.
Hey.
And so Tim says, Bombaleo.
Bombaleo.
He says, I went and saw Ford versus Ferrari, a great film, and Matt Damon gets set on fire. Wow. He says, makes a big difference having them actually drive the cars. They rebuilt the grandstand for Le Mans in 1966 on the racing track set. So, yeah, I've seen the trailer a couple times. I've actually been to the movies a couple times in the last couple weeks, and I've seen that trailer both times. Looks like it could be interesting. I'm not really into cars or racing all that much, but, Matt Damon and I was called him Patrick Bale, Christian Bale.
Yes.
Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale.
It's called
Ford versus Ferrari.
The Adventures of versus Ferrari.
Ford Valen. Hey, Hickory Dickory Dock. Christian Bale was sucking my cock. Oh. No, but I do want to see this, and the trailers for it makes it definitely seem more jokey. But I've been aware of this film, and it's pretty much like, it's basically like Ford saying like "fuck you" to Ferrari, we're coming at you. Like it's like Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
It's, the evil empire type thing. And fucking Christian Bale fucking can act like a motherfucker. So I can't wait. I do want to check this out. I don't think you have to be a car fan. Like I'm not a fucking car guy at all.
Yeah, you are. You're a Hyundai guy.
No, fuck you. Listen,
you're waiting for Hyundai versus Ferrari.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it's like fucking the true Superman versus Batman. What happens on page 2? Sorry, Bruce. I don't care how much fucking armor you have. You don't beat Superman, Bruce. But I do want to see that film.
So there is more to his email. He says Star Wars Target Vader comes highly recommended, even though I only read part 5 for a review. Target Vader? Is that must be one of the Marvel?
As your comic, yeah. I didn't know. Maybe I didn't know. Like we should have talked more comics, Tim, when you were up here, dude. But yeah, there's been a lot of Vader books.
Oh yeah, okay. So I'm looking at it right now. Okay, so it is Star Wars Target Vader. Yeah. Looks interesting. And he also says, I was going to see Dawn of the Dead on my birthday, but want to save money to buy pierogies at the Polish festival on the weekend. All right, well, it's probably a good reason, right?
Yeah, well, how much are those tickets for the Dawn of the Dead?
I don't know. Do you like pierogies, though?
I don't know.
You like pierogies.
I like pierogies, and so do you. Yes.
I like
pasta with mashed potatoes. You like pierogies.
Oh, I do like pierogies.
Yes.
Thank you, Aries.
Fuck, who doesn't like pierogies?
Yeah. Well, want to get some pierogies over the weekend?
I just had them for dinner.
Fuck, really?
Really?
Yeah. It's what I had for dinner tonight. Was pierogies.
Wow.
That's fucking.
I love pierogies.
I do like pierogies.
Now you know. So
pasta, potatoes? No shit.
Thanks to Tim Chuma, and also happy birthday. It is his birthday, I think, in Australia, but not in America. So
in an hour and a half it will be.
Yep. So happy birthday to Tim Chuma.
Yeah, Bambaleo.
Birthday-leo. So, I was you had a story, Raven Shadow, something to tell, and I was gonna say I went to the movies again this week and I saw Joker.
Oh.
Have any of you guys seen Joker yet?
I have not seen the Joker.
I know MZ hasn't. Aries, you haven't?
I have not. I really have no interest in seeing that movie.
Really? How come?
You know what? That's not my Joker.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can understand the descent and the madness, but you know what? I really don't want my fantasy to be reality based.
Ooh, I fucking do.
Oh, I guess I see what you're saying, and I'm not going to say too much about the film if anyone hasn't seen it, but it is a more realistic take, but and you also feel sympathy, and I don't know if it's because of the performance by Joaquin Phoenix. He was amazing in it, like probably Oscar worthy, but it also is, it sort of borders on talking about stuff in real life about, mental illness and how it's diagnosed, how it's treated, and, how people can fall through the cracks, So it is interesting. There were a couple things I didn't expect to see in it that surprised me a little bit, but I won't say what they are in case people haven't seen it. But at the end, it all made sense where it was heading, and I thought it wrapped up pretty cool. Like I enjoyed it. I think Raven Shadow would like it. I'm actually surprised that Aries doesn't want to see it, and I know MZ doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, I'm a little bit. I'm not exactly where Aries is, but I'm closer to Aries probably. Where I would agree. Like, I mean, everything about this, I have heard nothing but positive things about it, and I do want to see it. But I want to see it more from like a 70s like crime picture or 80s.
Oh, it absolutely is that. This is Taxi Driver meets King of Comedy, like in Gotham City with the Joker.
And that's kind of why I want to see it. Like, I'd rather it not be the Joker and it'd be just like, fucking.
If this had not been a movie promoted as the Joker, I probably would have been more interested. But being that it's an interpretation of one of my favorite comic book characters, but I don't want that. Like he is a fantasy character to me. The more reality based you make him, the less I'm going to like him. And I still will get behind Cesar Romero's Joker because he is so over the top a performance of the Joker, and that's what I want. Like I want that comedic aspect of the Joker. I don't want the reality base.
I mean, end of the day, it's an Elseworlds, right? For those who are either old enough to understand what that term means nowadays, or the old imaginary stories from the Silver Age. You know what I mean? There's interpretations. You're right. Cesar Romero Joker can totally exist in the same way that Nicholson and Jim Aparo and Alan Moore's Joker can all exist. There's not one version to do the character. Just like this is probably I heard nothing but positive things about it, but this is Halle Berry's Catwoman done successfully.
Well, that's up to interpretation too.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Well, granted, it's more widely accepted. A better movie, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's a better interpretation. Or
I'm not saying better. I'm just saying it's an Elseworld.
It's an Elseworld, yeah,
Elseworld.
Or a what if for the Marvel generation.
It's like the fucking once again, my friend fucking Music Quest Bob hating Smallville. Well, he can't fucking meet this person then. Well, it's a fucking Elseworld. It's not the fucking true fucking, how many fucking origins of character X, Y, and Z are there? But no, I do want to see it, Johnny.
You should. I think you dig it. It was. I thought it was really well done.
That's good. No, I liked your photo when you posted it.
It wasn't a photo. I checked in.
Oh fuck!
I checked in on IMDb.
I'm checking out when you fucking describe it.
Yeah, check it out.
I do want it to be said that I wasn't willing to part with my $13 to go sit in a cinema to watch this.
Right.
But I probably will watch it
in another medium.
Sacrifice $5 a rental or a purchase or something along those lines at my house during my leisure to be able to watch this.
Yeah.
So I'm not like I'm never watching this. I'm just at that point where I'm like I am not giving them $13 to go sit in a cinema to pout as I watch this, because I probably will pout as I watch this.
Yeah.
You probably will not want to sit and watch it with me because I will audibly speak back to the TV.
I want to watch it with
Aries, if you were an A-list member, you wouldn't.
Whoa! Joke's on you.
You wouldn't have to pay $13. I pay $20 a month.
You pay $20 a month. Yes.
I could go see up to 3 movies a week.
But the problem is whether I can get to the cinema enough to justify that, because I would absolutely love that. Because going and sitting in a theater is one of my favorite things to do, but it's the cost and the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing some differing stuff here, but you can actually pre-order Joker on Blu-ray, DVD, or 4K on Amazon right now, and I'm seeing one site is listing it as coming out on December 7th. If that's true, that's soon. That's like 3 weeks. So it may be out sooner than you think, but it's made so much money at this point. I think it's officially over $1 billion now.
I did hear it sold Deadpool 2.
Yeah,
as the #1 R-rated movie.
Yeah, which is crazy because they didn't anticipate this at all.
Just general.
Really?
Yeah, they didn't anticipate this at all.
Now, is that also in terms of cost too, or is that straight up?
Well, it's just how much it's made. It doesn't factor in the revenue. It's not like it's just how much it's made in the box office. It doesn't take into account, the budget or anything.
Yeah. Now there is a certain cinema close to my house that if it shows up there, I will go there.
Oh yeah. The second
because that is walking distance of my house, and they have beer.
Let me know. Keep me abreast of that, because we can park at your house and we can walk up and get fucked up.
So
we go to A&D Pizza. That'd be a fun night.
So it is. It's been out for 42 days, and domestically, it's pulled in 316 million. So in the States, and then internationally, 678. So it's just under $1 billion right now, 994. I do not see a budget that I can discern. So I don't know. I think it was like as far as superhero, well, I wouldn't call it a superhero movie, I guess, but as far as comic book movies go, this is on the lower end of budget.
And two, I mean, this isn't. I'm not saying this to take a stab at it, but it also came out when there's fucking nothing going on. Like,
And
what else is out too?
Actually, I'm reading something here that says it's the most profitable comic book movie of all time.
And that's probably in terms of cost, though. In terms of
it's it's
profitable.
It's how much
Right.
it cost to make, and then how much it made. So, but if you look at something like Avengers Endgame, if I'm not mistaken, I think it costs almost $500 million to make, like $400 million or something, like insanity.
But all those dolls are on screen, though. I mean, that's a lot of.
Oh yeah, well, half that cost was paying people. I mean, look at the names in that movie.
Yeah,
but I don't even think it's that. I think by the time you get to that, it's all weird back end deals, and you signed on to like contracts and shit like that.
Well, it's also advertising too.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
advertising takes a huge.
Yeah, but everyone's getting paid to be in that movie.
Yeah. Sorry, Terrence Howard and fucking. You guys couldn't fucking play ball, couldn't you? Had to keep fucking running your mouth.
No shit.
Fucking mouth, guys. Just fucking put the fucking purple pants on. Ed Norton. Shut the fuck up.
So, what were you gonna say, Raven Shadow? You had
So
a
it's
story
fucking-
or something?
You know, while I'm not an A-list member like Johnny Wolfenstein,
You took a nap in a theater, didn't you?
I did not take a nap in the theater.
He
No,
just rested his eyes.
I was just thinking about things. I was just thinking my thoughts in the daily fucking machinations. But no, last Friday I got a message from Dr. Chris.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So once again, I've been super fucking tired. I've been falling asleep watching Star Wars TV programs. Corny's pissed off at me. But I get a message saying, "Hey, he's got an extra ticket, VIP tickets, Johnny."
Ooh.
True. VIP tickets to the Wilbur Theater in Boston for the Jay and Silent Bob Roadshow.
Oh, he knows the way to your heart.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Naganooch. And it was the Jay and Silent Bob Roadshow Q&A, and then showing the Jay and Silent Bob reboot. 10 o'clock in Boston. I get this text at 3 o'clock on a Friday. And
Oh my God, it's at 10 o'clock?
Fucking A, right, Johnny?
You were asleep on the ride there.
You don't even
You
fucking know.
had to take a nap.
You don't even fucking know, Johnny. So I've been up for not only doing the show, our podcast the night before, long
your
days.
long commute home.
Yeah, well, listen. I'm fucking tired. So I get a text like, oh, shit, 10 o'clock. Fucking, all I wanted to do was to go home, get my Jamie Jams on, and watch the final two episodes of fucking Mayans, right? On the FX network. I'm like, all right, I want to fucking do this. It should be cool. So I go out, John.
Yep.
And it was supposed to be a meet and greet at the end, we thought. But apparently the meet and greet was only at the 7 o'clock show.
Ooh.
And not the 10 o'clock. But still, so and drive up to Framingham, hook up with Dr. Chris.
Ooh.
I drove John. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I fucking did.
I'm amazed. This is, oh my God. Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And yeah, I had to get some gas on the way because I didn't plan on fucking
$10.
I put $10 more in.
Twice.
Yeah, once there, once back.
You got to talk into the mic.
Yeah, but it was super. No, I'm getting a prop. So it was super excited. So we get there, and it was fucking cold like a motherfucker. Actually, too, we fucking had to park in fucking, the Wilbur is. It's in like Chinatown.
Near Chinatown.
Chinatown. We had to cut through Chinatown.
Well, you parked in a bad spot then.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I found fucking 9:30 at night, Friday night in Boston, on street parking in front of a fucking meter. Bombaleo.
I'm surprised you came back and had tires in your car.
I drove around. There was one. I went to one near a meter, but I found that.
No, I'm surprised you had tires on your car when you came back.
Have you seen my fucking no one wants? Jason Todd wouldn't steal my tires. So it's me and Dr. Chris cutting through Chinatown, and I'm just like, I want my truck back, Dr. Chris, doing fucking Jack Burton impressions. And that was very exciting. So then we get there.
That sounds like a fucking that's like fucking exclusive content. You and Dr. Chris in Chinatown.
It would have been fucking awesome because we were walking around and we kind of got lost a little bit.
This is my shocked face.
But no, it was good because I'm like, because his phone was low on battery, my phone was low on battery. So it was a whole fucking adventure.
Do you know how to charge your phone?
Yeah, you can plug those in the car.
Motherfucker, I did, but it was in. This is a whole different thing, Johnny. You gotta check out my setup. My plug wasn't working. So now we found on-street parking, going to the fucking Wilbur. So now there's lines to the fucking block, like it's fucking like every fucking, roller coaster ride open on the same day. You see you fucking walking around. But the best thing about having the VIP passes.
I'm talking to the mic.
Yeah, I'm a VIP passes. Check it out.
Oh.
Look at that. You didn't fucking know. Check that out. Front and back. Jan Silent Bob Remu. I was there. That got us into the lobby so we could be warm. And there was a big fucking guy there, kind of like Ryan the limo driver from Howard Stern, who was throwing people out. The line's out the back! He's fucking yelling at people. So we were inside being warm.
Hollywood Chronicon.
Yeah. And it was really good, man. If you haven't been to the Wilbur, there's not a bad seat in the house there, but it's a very small theater. And we were basically where our seats were picture me on the live feed, and then where Spider-Man poster is where the fucking stage was.
Really?
So basically we were right fucking there. And it was super rad. They came out, did a little bit of business, showed the movie. Movie was really fucking good. And I really get to think about Kevin Smith and my kind of journey with him from being 17 to now 42. And not all of his catalog is stuff that I love. And you could say that this movie could be a cash grab, but a lot of it was he put his money into it, and they're doing these tours to kind of get it to the audience. And he made a movie for the fans. And he definitely looks less jarring in real life, the way with the surgery. It's much better when he's closer up. It's less.
By surgery, you mean the heart attack?
No, the slimming down. The slimming down. It's less.
Well, yeah. Well, that wasn't he had a heart attack and he had to lose weight.
No, but he looks good. He looks
okay.
He looks much better in real life than on screen.
You're making it sound like he had liposuction.
Well, I don't know what happened.
The motherfucker died.
Well, he got better, like an X-Men character. And even Muse looks better in real life. But they were super passionate, and even I've seen some spoken word he's done where he'll like give fans a hard time. But he was super open to all questions. There was even where we were sitting, we could see behind the curtain, and there was somebody having like a sign that read 25 minutes, 15 minutes. The movie didn't start till 11 o'clock. So the movie ran its runtime, and now it's like 1 a.m, and he's still doing Q&A. He don't give a fuck. He just kept answering questions.
He'll talk until he drops. If you know him, he just talks.
And that was great. And he said some cool stories about how getting everyone back together again, how it wasn't, there's cameos. There's no surprise there. But talking about, is Mark Hamill going to be Cockknocker? He's like, well, when Jay and Silent Bob came out in 2001, there was really not much Star Wars going on. Mark Hamill in 2019, a lot more shit. So he called up Mark Hamill. And he's like, yeah, Kevin, I really want to do it, but the Empire won't let me.
AKA Disney.
Oh, right. But told some cool stories about how him and Affleck got into a feud, and they kind of got back together. He made a cameo in the flick, still looking built like a fucking brick shithouse. But a lot of this movie came up from the first part of the flick, was a part of an original script from Clerks 3 that never got used. There were parts that were supposed to be from Mallrats 2. They merged into it, but because of what they're doing and what they've done so far, Clerks 3 is happening and Mallrats 2 is happening as well.
Let me hold my breath for both of those.
Yeah. That final script for Clerks 3 has been done for like 6 or 7 years now.
But that's the thing. Once again, had you been he does talk about that at the Q&A.
I mean, not that I doubt that either of these two properties will happen at some point, but both of them have been spoken about ad nauseum, both on and off, and like
Yes.
movies, TV shows, just both back and forth, on and off. So it's one of those. I'll believe it when I see it. Although I probably will be happy when and if I see either one of them.
It's fair, and it's funny. Like, you know, you can say he's going back to the well, and he does mention how he's like, yeah, I tried doing shit different. No one fucking liked it. I've not seen Red State. I have no desire for Tusk, and I really hated Yoga
Tusk is
Hosers.
good.
Red State is good. Tusk is okay. I wouldn't even bother with Yoga Hosers.
Right.
Yoga. Oh, jeez. The less I think about Yoga Hoses, the better off I'll be.
But this is a very smart movie, and it does, when it gets to a point where you're like, oh, this is what it's fucking about. And I think for anyone who is probably our age, who has been from the beginning, I think in a weird way, it kind of speaks to a lot of the aging fanboys, especially, I mean, Muse is 45 and Smith is 49, he mentioned. So, I mean, they're much older than us.
Yeah, decades older than me.
Well, maybe not, you know, they're months older than Monster Zero. But it was really good, and despite all the, you know, references, I truly enjoyed it. And actually, Harley Quinn Smith is in it. She's a really fantastic job.
Really?
She's actually really, really good. Much better than Yoga Hosers, and was definitely given some provocative dialogue.
Well, the acting in Yoga Hoses wasn't the issue. It was the script in Yoga Hoses that was the issue.
That's fair.
I mean, the both the young ladies, both in Yoga Hosers and Tusk, they did a fine job.
Yeah.
It's just they weren't outstanding movies. That's the issue.
That's fair. But yeah, I truly enjoyed it. You know, I was asked, you know, where does this fit? I don't know if it's better or worse than any other film, but I think it's a fine addition to the View Askew-verse. But I will say this though. So I saved off-street parking and got free ticket to the show, which I don't know how much they were, but even Kevin Smith joked about how much people paid to see this fucking movie. And we had front row seats. So we go to order a beer, and Dr. Chris gets a regular, you know, size, you know, whatever the fucking micro brews they had. And I ordered mine. And they come over like, I'll be $24. I'm like, for 2 fucking beers? I'm like, well, how much is the large Coors Light? Oh, it's $14.99. Like, all right, I'll get one of those. So $14.99 for a plastic cup Coors fucking Light. Tall boy. A lot of fucking money.
I understand that, but you know what? Don't drink in the fucking theater.
Well,
Whoa, look who you're talking to.
Yeah, no, forget about that.
It's a couple car payments.
There's no Moiners.
Yeah, no, there's no
in Boston.
Graphs. But I figured what I saved in free parking, I got from the fucking $14.99.
Yeah, free parking, free ticket. Did you buy him a beer?
I did buy him a beer.
Okay,
I did.
I'm just making sure. 2? You buying 2? Did he
slow
buy?
it down. Slow it down. No, I mean I got that
Did
much
he
money.
pay for a beer?
It wasn't a date, Aries. Jeez.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh, come on. Oh, you know what? It was a date. It pretty much was a date.
The dude seeing a fucking Jay and Silent Bob movie.
A couple of dudes can't be on a date.
Yeah.
That's nothing wrong
This
with
is
that.
2019.
It's just true.
Did he walk you to your door after
I jumped him off. I drove home.
Give him a little reach around.
Give you a kiss.
You fucking rude.
Invite him in for a nightcap.
He already had a hat on.
All right, we're gonna wrap this shit up. Tim Chuma.
No, if you check out, all right.
So you recommend the movie?
I had a blast with it, dude.
Okay,
I really did. I loved it. I loved it.
Tim Chuma says, "Can you believe it costs $7.30 for a single hot dog and a drink in Australia?"
Fuck that noise.
He says
Wait, really?
$2.50 for a sausage and bread at Bunnings, the hardware chain. What?
What the fuck?
Buy sausage and bread at a hardware store? That's
You have a different definition of hardware in this country.
Yeah. I got a hammer, some nails. Can I have ketchup mustard on that, please?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think we can wrap this shit up. So, MZ, say goodbye.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Sayonara, motherfuckers.
Wow. Rave Shadow.
Dospedania, dickheads. That's a hard die with your mask on.
And I think my new sign off is going to be, I have spoken.
Oh.
All right, so that is going to do it for episode 381 of Trick or Treat Radio. We appreciate everyone who hung out in the live show, everyone who's going to listen to the podcast, and also for Tim for sending us an email. We appreciate it. And once again, just real quick, if you guys want to hear spoiler, I know we've done Star Wars stuff on Trick or Treat Radio before, but if you guys want to hear spoiler discussion about The Mandalorian, we do have, there's a new podcast called Force Insensitive, a Star Wars podcast. It's available all the places you can find Trick or Treat Radio, so go keep an eye out for that. It's going to be weekly as we break down The Mandalorian. And that is going to do it here for us. So, next week, once again, we're going to be talking about the film The Divine Fury. Looking forward to that one. And that's it. That's it. So we will see you guys next week. And yes, I have spoken.